Yahoo! Take a look at the Yunjin demo video. Oh, actually, I did earlier today. It made me happy. It made me happy. But Yahoo! Welcome to the stream, Butterbro, Izzy, Kozak. Mwah. Thank you for the camp, as well as Ju-chan. Mwah. Hello, Kozak. Been a while since we last talked, bruh. But how is everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing goody. Hope everyone's doing well. Two-piece Husk, two-piece Petra with an off-piece defense artifact. I think, considering that full-stack Husk gives 24% geo damage plus defense percentage, you really should go full Husk. It's a flat downgrade. I'm just pointing it out. Yeah, sure, you gotta build up the stats, but literally if they're off the field, they generate stats on their own. So, I don't know, man. And Emotocross is real? Yes. I don't know if it was a good idea or not. And also, I don't know if I should put a cooldown on it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And Missmaker, mwah, yahoo. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today, cutie? I've arrived from struggling with campaign writing. Nice. Welcome. Hope hope your muse hasn't been troubling you too much. I see primos. How'd you get those? I have the monthly gain 90 primo gems every time you log in. Welcome Moon. Honestly, Welcome Moon's actually worth your money. I feel like not a lot of things in Genshin are actually worth your cash, but Welcome Moon's is worth your money. Don't forget the Stardust post. I believe I already bought mine. Yeah. I'm just holding off for the for the next patch so that I have a chance at getting Goro. Because I want more Goro constellations, but I literally physically cannot get any from the standard banner despite the fact that I have 12 pulls. But I've got a small chance in hell. That's what it is. To Genshin I go. And Alia, Yahoo, welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? Welcome, welcome. And why 555 points in particular? I couldn't figure out what was a good amount. So I just tossed an arbitrary number on it, and I'm just like, fuck it. We'll figure it out if that's too much or too little. Because all it is... Ne, Oni-chan. Aiteru yo, Oni-chan. It's just, it's like the ara-ara. It's like a small, sweet little thing. Like, so you can get as many as you want, I guess. It's like chips, alright? Indulge if you need to, alright? I'm just happy that Fischl was this month's character. Just need 2 more to C6 or Pog. Fischl is actually just a really solid character. I'm glad to see that more people are using her. You know? Got to do World Quest, got a secret treasure objective. Nice. And I got the tree to level 40. Nice. Nice. Cock. Alright. We just... I'm so excited for 2.4. Yeah. Now, what I'm really curious about, right, is there's clearly... Oh, wait. Hold up. We got Marvelous merchandise. There's clearly a place in Inazuma. It's not Fischl we're playing, it's Oz. Yo, true. There's a place in Inazuma that's just like with Wind Comes Glory, where you spend your sigils, or Mingjing Jewelry, where you spend your sigils, right? And I don't know what to write here. Are you the One-chan or the Emoto? I'm the Emoto. You decide if I call you Oni-chan or One-chan. But ne, Anna man Oni-chan, aiteru yo, Oni-chan. But they also have one in Inazuma called Netsuke no Gen Crafts, right? OMG, yes. Ne, Oni-chan, aiteru yo, ikunatsu, Oni-chan. And I'm really curious as to what they're gonna give you. Finally, bruh. Ne, Oni-chan, Kozak Oni-chan, aiteru yo. And Willis, Yahoo, welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? How are you? Welcome, welcome. I prefer Aniki and a Yakuza. Oh, this is Pog. I got Pyro today. Yo, let's go. Let's go. EXP books. Pogus Champus. Oh, today's the last Marvel's merchandise, isn't it? Oh, Sag. I'm kind of sad. I'm gonna miss these. Oh. I get a feeling that the emote redeemer is gonna rival Bully at this point. Zamba. Alright. 3 locations, super close to each other. Where's the last one? Yeah, straight to the heart. Okay, so it's just trash. My dailies today are trash. Feels bad. And I was gonna go eat food, but instead I think I'll spend 170k channel points on emote cross. Bruh. Ne, Oni-chan. Ikunax Oni-chan. Aishiteru yo, Oni-chan. Bruh. Oh my god, Kozak more. Ne, Oni-chan. Kozak Oni-chan. Aishiteru yo, Oni-chan. And Izzy. Motherfucker. Cute little bitch. Little shit. Don't you fucking forget how much of a cute little shit you are, motherfucker. I'll fucking step in your cereal, little bitch boy, little shit, huh? What are you gonna do? You gonna eat that cereal now, little cute fucker, little bitch boy? Just fucking remember, cute trash, that I fucking love you, bitch. I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. Oddly specific, Bully, don't worry about it. And James says, good morning, cutie. Yeah, all through the stream.
Solidify.
Bruh.
Attaboy! Advance! Follow my lead!
The damage AoE is like surprisingly small. On Goro's E. Redeem an Emota to Bully to get bullied in the Emota voice? I don't know if that would work. I don't know how that would work. Can we see new players versus Reptiles in Mondstadt? Oh no! On one hand, I think it'd be hilarious to see new players fight Riptowns. On the other hand, bruh. That's a logistical nightmare for new players. That genuinely is. That's so bad. I love how I go for, like, some sort of dumb shock value about, stepping, like, kicking over and stepping in your cereal. And Ju-Chen's immediate response is, feed him my cereal? I'd eat it. And I'm like, of course. I should have known better. I should have known better. Oh, shit! Oh, so the Black Wolves that Andrews was talking about are the Rift Wolves? Yo! Wait, that's cool, though! Hold up. Oh, they better let me redo the Razor Quest. Yo, they better let me redo the Razor Quest. I'm not joking. They better let me redo the Razor Quest. Because I want to experience the Rifthound Wolves again. Except they're actually invading and encroaching territory this time. That would actually be cool. Yo, what the fuck? That's awesome. And Bocash, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the head pets. Experience it on my account? Bruh. We've all done Razor Quest. You can't have Andreas without Razor Quest. I just want to see my boy Razor get that too.
Solidify. Bam! It's showtime. Let's roll. Stabilize.
Where are you? Why are you up in a fucking tree, man?
Go.
Why you gotta be like that, dude? Why you gotta be so rude? Die. Die. New players need to level up their characters and prepare. I think, though, that the Rift Wolves are definitely handleable at low levels. Because the small ones aren't really that strong. The small ones aren't the danger. The big ones are kind of fucked. The foam did 16k damage. Oh, I've seen it do like 26k. 16k is nothing. 16K is genuinely nothing. It's kind of crazy to think about it that way, but
Charge!
all right. Let me get up to you. Let me sneak right up in your DM.
Solidify! Attaboy!
Alright.
Life goes
Did
on.
they have Barbara by the time that they finish that quest? Probably something along the lines. 18K? Even though that's not as
Faster?
high as it could have been.
Okay, faster.
Cause I think my phone burst like as the fucking archers died.
Faster? Okay, faster.
Get deaded. Get deaded. No, honestly, like the foam the foam set, like the clam set, actually makes healers viable. Like, it's so good. Oh. Yeah, cause Barbara you get at AR 20. Oh. I know it used to be 25, but then they lowered it to 20. I don't know if they lowered it further. It's 18 now? Yeah, 18 now. So it should be very achievable. And gotta... Ooh. Ooh. Full stretch. Full stretch. Mwah.
Gather! Bam!
Like,
28K! See, there you go. Easy clap.
Attaboy!
Battle Pass expires tomorrow. Prepare for the new one. Oh, man. Man. The real thing that the Battle Pass is good for is the fact that it gives you, You wanna make some food now? Hey, let's go. Mwah. Got some goody food, brother.
add Astra.
Some goody food.
Thank you for complete.
Alright. Yeah, the Battle Pass is really solid. Like, to the point that if you actually plan on, like, leveling characters, I feel like if you're not doing the Battle Pass, it actively feels like it's setting you back. Like, of course, right? You can level characters even without the Battle Pass, but... Artifact RNG is just so crap, right? Artifact used to be such utter shit. No, what else are you supposed to do? Yeah. That's the thing, though. Like, I know for a lot of people, Battle Pass weapons are kind of underwhelming at this point. Because they've existed forever, right? And Rice is nice. Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. Mwah, thank you for the folly. But the Black Sword and the Serpent Spine, Solar Pearl, the Death March, the Viridescent Hunt, all of these are really solid weapons. And, you know, they're just kind of necessary. I would like it if they added some more Battle Pass weapons. Because currently all the Battle Pass weapons are focused on, on crit rate. I think it'd be really nice if they gave us some energy recharge or crit damage alternatives. I think that'd be really good. Happy late New Year. Happy New Year. Mwah. The stats are solid, but they've been out forever. We just need new options for characters. No, I agree. That, like, I would really like it if Yaga, welcome to the stream. Mwah, how you doing, cutie? Welcome. Who guess is gonna be good today for once and go grind for her artifacts today? Hell yeah, baby.
Advance! Rally! Pull in! Bam! Oh, coming through!
Doing good, Yaga.
Stabilize.
Fries.
Advance. Order guide you.
All right.
Charge. It's showtime.
Okay, easy clap. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And ne. James Oni-chan. Aiteru Oni-chan. Zamb. Already, bruh. And Phoenix, Yahoo, welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? Welcome, welcome. I made it more expensive than Ara Ara, and it's still selling way better for some reason than I expected it to. Ooh, wait, fuck. I thought that said defense percentage, and I was like, yo, that's really good. Oh, no, I was looking at the defense down here. Fuck. And ne, Bokajo ni-chan. Aiteru Oni-chan. Ne, Kozako ni-chan. Aiteru Oni-chan. It's not gonna feel, the only expeditions it feels like you should be doing are the Oramora ones. Kind of, yeah. Low-key, that's what it is. They're the only ones that actually actively help your, genuine, like, account growth. You know? Because, you know, the ores give you, weapon EXP. And the Mora is Mora. I mean, yeah, it's not a lot considering the time. If anything, it's too small considering the time. But it's consistent and gradual, which is more than what Genshin has ever provided it up till this point.
Advantage. Let's roll.
So it is what it is.
I will have order.
Wheel of life. Yeah.
Stabilize. Charge! Hold! Attaboy! Who wants some of this? Bam! Gather!
Die. How are you still alive? Thank you.
Life goes on.
Just die already. Jeebus. I basically decided to skip all the dumb bitch juice and paint the keycap. Wait, hold up. What? You painted a keycap? Like a keyboard keycap? Like a keyboard keycap? I like the food ones because farming meat and fowl is annoying. No, that's fair. I think that you're fine with making maybe one or two of your Oh, that's not too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad. I feel like making one or two of your whatchamacallit? One of two of your expeditions, like at least the Mora ones, into some sort of food resource, it's not too bad. Because food is not hyper important, but it's still nice. It still feels kind of valuable.
Solidify! Charge! This is order. Everyone on me! Let's roll! Oni coming through! Bam!
Guys. Play.
Falling! Stabilize! Attaboy! Who wants some of this? Let's roll!
You gonna die yet? Jesus.
Go.
Why do they always take so long to die for no reason, man? Why can't you just let me moiter them? Why do they need a self-preservation instinct? They exist for my amusement. Wow, that was like the most egotistical gamer thing I've ever said in my life, even if it's just for the meme. I never bothered with the Mora. It's such a pathetic amount of Mora for the time invested, but that's just me. No, I think that's completely fair. Which is why I think like the Mora, at least, instead of Mora, if you get like food items, I 100% understand. But I think that the ore is kind of a must pick. Ew. I don't know. All these are bad. I kind of dream of having a custom keyboard, but there's also an ore in Leeway. So if you do 2 ore in Mondstadt and 1 ore in Leeway, Kika Gormy, Yahoo, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. And Yaga, thanks for the alert. If you do those 3, you're guaranteed like 20 ore a day, which is enough to make 5 of the blue ore. So even if you don't do ore runs, you can still build up a passive reserve of
I will have order. Charge! Press the advantage! Oh, coming through!
Emergency count.
Advance! Round! Order guide you.
Wheel of life. Yeah.
just heal the whole party.
Like,
Gather! Charge! Attaboy!
I know. Fuck you.
Let's roll!
rise.
And ara mama o kawaii koto ma kawaii da yo pokaku kawaii da yo ara. We need no, yeah, like I do feel that once you hit like AR-55, you should be allowed more expedition units. 5 people total is kind of pee-poo-poo-poo. I don't even think that the people who hit AR-60 get an additional, which is kind of trash, kind of poop. I don't really like to make games. I just want certain games to exist, but I don't have the money to pay someone to do them. Man, that's the realest thing. Like when I run like for example, when I run Dungeons and Dragons, right? Sometimes I'll make like a bunch of like weird little house rules, or I'll just completely revamp the system because I have an idea for like a game or idea for like a theme that I want to follow. But then I also sit there and be like, wow, I want to play this. I don't want to run it. I want to be in it. So it's a struggle. That is the eternal creative.
Stabilize. Advance. Press the advantage.
That is entire creative
Charge.
process is cursed.
It's showtime. I will have order. Gather. Attaboy.
Rise. Yeah.
Let's roll.
God, Ito does no damage. He's
Stabilize.
out of his fucking.
Advance. Bam.
Ito does no damage outside of his fucking ult form. Feels bad, dude. Jesus. Because your brain is too creative for its own good. The creators of D&D made it fun to play, not to run it. Yeah, no. That's the thing. That like, it is genuinely the eternal struggle of D&D. You never get to play the game that you want to play. My boyfriend woke up and legit asked me how's Valorant. He's just assuming I'm Valorant as soon as he wakes up every day. So yeah, how is Valorant, Yaga? How Valorant going? Look, I already know that's the question to ask. All right, I just choose not to ask it outside of the meme.
This realm is.
It's that moment of if it's not
you
Valorant,
ever have
it's Genshin, and boy, Genshin do be running out of content quickly, so I don't even know if Zam, I'm already out. I am already out. It's going very well. I have a C3 Killjoy. Thanks for asking. Constellation 3 Killjoy. I'm saving up the coins in the teapot for the first new week of Battle Pass. Yeah, that's probably a smart idea. But also, whatchamacallit? The I mean, no matter what, as long as you're high enough Adeptal rank, you're just gonna get all the you're just gonna get all the You're just gonna get all the coins you need anyway. I don't feel like I need to rush to get that done as fast as possible. I'm up to 20k coins for the teapot. I'm ready for the update. Yo, wait! Oh, that's right! It'll come with new furnishings, won't it? Oh no, I didn't think about that. Fuck. Oh well. I'll just build up my new crafting recipes slowly. I'm in no rush. It's all goody. It's all goody. It's all right. All right, all right, all right. Oh my god, Anthony, you have a quest right next to me. Bruh. Alright. Alright. It's not that Genshin's running out of content too quickly, it's that we're all addicted to the game. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that, like, you know, most people, like, will step away from the game and then come back to it and stuff. Except, if you actually want to progress in Genshin, you really can't afford to do that, right? Because the game is like, oh, yeah, you can take time away from us, but if you do, you're losing out on Primo Gems, you're losing out on, like, account progress, you just lose out on a lot of stuff, so you gotta come in every day. And then once you're in, you're like, I might as well play some, right? Do quests, and wow, I've got double Pyro Box. Pog. Both my accounts are Pyro Boxes. That's impressive. Mew still has 12 side quests. Yeah, no, I've got a bunch of quests on my ult. I've got a bunch of things to do on my ult. Because I know there's gonna be a day where I just cave and I just do everything all at once. I haven't done any of the hangouts after the first ones. I think that like not all of the hangouts are really worth your time. Like Diona's didn't really feel worth my time. Changyan's was alright, but and like half of Bennett's was kind of snooze. And a third of Barbara was kind of meh as well. But outside of that, no, like I genuinely enjoyed the majority of the hangout. Noelle like hard carries though. Like let's be honest. And coffee time, Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing today, cutie? Welcome, welcome. Basically, you lose essential stuff if you don't play the game every day. It's not that you lose anything like actively. It's that those are all things that you can and should be gaining if you want to be able to pull characters, if you want to be able to like get resources. It's not like punishing you, but it feels like a waste to not get them because you can only get them like once a day. So that's the thing. Yeah, I'm not really too happy with like the mobile game gacha mechanics either, but you know it is what it is. And how are you? I'm doing pretty goody. Taking care of my Genshin. Just finished content on my main account, and I'm dry. Unless I want to do Abyss, which I'm not in the mood for. There's gonna be a couple of changes soon to a couple things in my life. So I don't know. I don't have the
supporting fire.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
I don't have the
Ring cutter.
the energy to take care of Abyss right now. So what?
Check this out.
Adventure time.
Yay. Abyss stream Pog? No.
No, my sword.
I don't know. I'm in too much of a mood for Abyss, man. 42 rolls for guaranteed Zonly, and it's got the monthly packs. Let's go, Pog. I mean, you've got like how much time? You've got 26 days, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks plus the like how much time it takes to get to Tuesday. So yeah, you've got plenty of time. The only thing is that like I didn't buy the battle pass this time around, right? But I am 50. I'm tempted. It's just kind of unnecessary. I don't need like this is my alt account. I don't really need to purchase anything on this account. Please buy battle pass. This is my alt. I don't know. I'm not like worrying about leveling up other characters or whatever. Yeah, like battle pass is only worth it if it's my main account. And if it's my alt, it's really not worth. It's really not worth it. Yeah, unless you need the materials, I don't. Yeah, this is my alt account. Like on my main account, oh, hands down, no questions asked. Because main account always progress. That's the goal. More funds artifact rolls, funds character levels, gives character EXP for new characters. Because I'm building Kaching next. I'm not holding back. I'm building Kaching next. Like I am hard building Kaching. But look, I'm skipping battle pass next time because I don't really need any of the match anymore. Fair. That's understandable.
Here we go.
Don't get too close. Here's backup.
Let me weave you a verse. Huh? No, my sword.
Uh-oh. There we go. I finished the key cap and it feels good. Hell yeah, Kira. Let's go, cutie. Let's go. Being prepared to fight Golden Riftlord to ascend Yunjin. I think I'm gonna get Yunjin, but I don't think I'm gonna level her for a while. I don't know what she would be good for. I guess, like, for Eula? She'd be alright for Eula. She wouldn't be great for Eula, but she'd be alright for Eula. Also, yeah, I feel like Yunjin would use the new Enkanomiya boss. I have no way of confirming that, of course. Just zero way of confirming that, of course. Can you descend faster? Thank you. Give me my Primo Gems. Mahal released the talent materials needed for Yunjin's ascension and talents. Wait, what? Okay, hold up. Alright, where is, my display capture? Why am I so blind? Oh, here it is. Alright, hold up. Twitter, oh, in case anything Monka comes up on the screen. Genshin Impact. Alright. We're on the Mihoyo page officially. Where is the... Oh wait, hold up. What the fuck is this?
The workers and I have a... Hi there. Wishing you a happy new year.
Oh, this is
Here
super
is
cute.
your
What the
year.
hell?
Take control of your destiny. My plans? The workers and I have a big construction project coming up. Do come and see it when it's finished.
Hello, nice to meet you. May the year ahead be filled with good food, good friends, and good cheer. Speaking of good
Why did the audio quality like shift midway?
Wanmin Restaurant. What do you think of molten chocolate cake with pyro science for extra flavor?
Mommy, sorry. Mommy,
Happy
sorry.
New
Milky,
Year, traveler.
sorry.
Did you get my card? Wait, did I forget to send it? I'm quite busy right now. But if you need my help, just call me. I'll be there.
Yeah? Live each day like it's your last, because you never know.
Because
Anyway,
you never know!
this is the best time of year to visit the funeral parlor. Why? Because it's time to say goodbye to the past, and then go on into the future. Oh, and we have a great New Year promotion right now. Second coffin, half price.
Second coffin, half price. I'll take your entire stock. Bruh. All right. Hold up. It was the one that I just skipped. You said? Was it this? Is it? Does this the thing? Oh God, that's cursed. Oh, that's cursed. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Oh, that was kind of the worst. Okay. Oh, wait, no, it's still Golden Wolf Lord drops, I think. Hold up. Yeah, okay, so she still uses the Golden Wolf Lord drops. She uses Glaze Lily. She needs Molten Hearts. Okay. Okay. Alright, interesting. Yo, her counter shield has extra effectiveness against all damage. That's kind of poggies. That's actually kind of poggies. And Ashen Grotto, mwah, yahoo, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you got off work. Hope you're doing goody. Hope you're doing goody. I hate that MiHoYo keeps adding new world bosses that are only used for like 2 characters tops. Yeah, I mean it can't be helped, right? Like it's hard to release a bunch of new characters, and it would be bad for the game if they did. But man, it does feel kind of bad that like bosses are so one and done. Like, unless it's for that specific new whatever. I think it'd be nice if they would, like, let it so that certain characters can be leveled up using different boss ascension stuff. So, if you could, like, you could convert boss ascension stuff. Your little chat bubbles look like Persona 5 chat bubbles? Hell yeah, baby. That is the intent. 'Tis the ideal. I hope you enjoy Persona.
Wouldn't gliding be
And
faster?
coffee time. Thank you for the folly. Mwah. Tis the point. Yes. 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 Alright. Time to be disappointed by artifacts on my alt account as well as my main. Because I need artifact EXP real bad. Real bad. And I ain't gonna get shit. I'm gonna buy Persona 5 Strikers soon. I have Strikers. And I never got to get super deep into it, because, like, the combat is just very different from Persona, and I don't know, maybe I'm just bad, but, like, I can't get used to it fast, and I just kind of...
Fire it up! I got you covered!
I'm going in! No, my sword!
And it makes me wonder if it's my fault for not being good at the Persona 5 Strikers, or if it's just that... If it was some poor optimization stuff when I first tried running it for the first time.
Don't get too close!
It very much could be just poor optimization stuff for the first time run. Yeah, Strikers is very different. But I feel like I never gave it a fair shot. Also, when I played Strikers, it was on my old PC. Which is nowhere near as good as my current one. I do want to give it another shot, though. I do want to give it another shot. I should try it at a point. At a point. Wow. That's actually a really good Hu Tao Sans. Actually a really good Hu Tao Sans. What the fuck? I need a job so I can buy Strikers. Zam. That's a mood. And Ashen Grotto. Thank you for the headbats, cutie. Strikers is the Dynasty Warriors version of Persona. Yeah. Watch it all roll into the flat stat. Shut up, this. No. HP percentage, though. It would work on Hu Tao. It'd be alright on Hu Tao.
Supporting fire! Check this out!
Everybody stand back! Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power of Gugwa.
Go! Higher, higher, hands up
Gonna try to see if Mona's dash does damage to Pyro Shield. It should because it applies high throw. I don't know how much damage it'll do, but it should. If I can't afford it, I'm gonna buy Security Breach. Oh, I've seen some Security Breach gameplay, despite my fear and my hatred of jump scares. And I've gotta say, I respect Security Breach. I actually think it's a pretty good game by the looks of it. It's definitely buggy. It's really buggy, but ooh, has potential. Has potential. Energy recharge. It has a crit rate stat. I don't know if I can get crit damage on it though. Yeah, it's better than this copium as long as it rolls it like once or twice. All right, hold up. Literally have no plans for a Geo character at the moment, and none of these were particularly good. I'm gonna keep the crit rate hat because it's crit rate hat, but everything else is going into us fodder. If I can get crit damage, we're swapping. Oh! Oh! All right. Now we just gotta keep rolling hot. Just gotta keep rolling hot, I guess. What else are we gonna do? Just keep rolling hot, and everything will be a-okay. Everything will be a-okay. Just keep rolling hot. I just need a method of just keep rolling hot. All right, okay. Ooh, another crit damage, Pog. I could use some crit rate though. Spicy. Delicious. All right. We got potential. All right. Oh yeah, that one's pretty copium. All right, fuck it. Ooh, I will be a Zong main. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, baby. Zong is so comfy. Love him. So good. Big dong Zong. Please crit rate. Jesus! Look at all that crit damage. Already worth it. Dandelion, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the head pats. Head pats bring me luck. More. Alright. Yeah, more head patch. Started to run out of comfy artifact EXP though. I don't even know what I'm dipping into at this point. Try and preserve like the good ones, which is like really arbitrary what's good and what isn't. And just feed all the ones that look kind of poopy. Feed all the poopy ones. Come on. Why do you not just lock the good ones? Cause I'm dumb. All right. There's your answer. I am pee pee poo poo brain. Always has been. Always will be. Not Pepega Strimmer. Exactly. Like I don't like locking artifacts in for some reason. Ooh, the flat defense sucks a little bit, but everything else has been fine up to this point. This is still really good. Everything's still really good. Good God. 8. I think this is already worth it, sheerly off the 17% crit damage. I feel like I can't complain, and we're just gonna roll with it. Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. It'd be nice to get one crit rate for a finale, though. I'll take another crit damage as well, because frankly, we're crack-a-lacking some crit damage. We truly are, but please. ×2? Pop? Alright, please. Take me away, my secret place. Take me. Oh my god! I'll take it. I'll take it. Doesn't matter. That's worth it. 25% crit damage on an energy recharge stance for the Raiden Shogun. Yo, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, my guys. Let's rise up, gamers. Gamers, rise up. Gamers, rise up. Gamers. 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 Zamb. Zamb. Alright. Ooh. Kinda of a subpar feather. Do we have a better flower? These are kind of copium too, huh? These are kind of copium too, huh? Gross. Ooh, gross. Have I gotten anything better in that time? No. No. It's all poopy. It's all poopy. Alright. And we have a crit rate hat, but it's pure copium. It's a pure copium crit rate hat. Oh man. Oh man. I think my Raiden actually has some decent substat now. Look at that. She actually broke 100% crit damage. Her crit rate is ass though. Look at that, 46%. Alright. We only rolled flat defense once, which means that we rolled crit damage 4 times out of 5. That's pretty pog. That's pretty pog. I'm really happy about that.
Here's backup.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse. Huh?
Time to go.
Fire it up.
No, my sword.
Die already? Die already? Die already? Thank you. And Anusta. Yahoo. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today, cute? Welcome, welcome. How's your day going? How's your day? How you doing? How you doing? And Undertaker. Thank you for the head pats. I do appreciate it. Bye bye. Bye bye. Wait, hold up. My Raiden Shogun's attack is only 1400. I just realized that's kind of low. Hold up. Wait, she gets energy recharge as electro damage, right? And I don't have her best in slot weapon, the 5-star. Should I attack cup instead of elect cup? Should I be attack cupping instead? Not that I have an attack cup. But should I have been attack cupping? Huh. I just got the Hilichurl name card. It's super cute. Hell yeah, baby.
Don't get too close. Supporting fire.
Going in. Rain cutter.
Higher, pants on fire.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is.
Check this out.
No, my sword. Rain outlines your.
I have an attack cup and an electric damage cup, and I don't really see that much difference. Okay. Because she gets effectively electro damage baked into her kit though, which is why I'm wondering if I should just maybe attack cup instead, because at least that would raise her damage output theoretically. But at the same time, elemental damage is not a substat you can roll. So it's like, it feels valuable, even if it's like not helping you quite so much in your situation. Like for example, Eula's one of those characters where like some people argue having an attack cup is better.
Here's backup. Don't get too close.
Although I feel like most of those arguments stem up from the fact that she has Dama Broken Mind.
No, my sword.
Because even her cryo does a lot of damage. And it's kind of a waste to give it up entirely, I guess.
Fire it up.
Nice. Woo, 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 woo. Alright. At least something good. Oh! Double drop for 20 resin. Pog. Ooh. Gross. Ooh. Gross. Man, I have no luck. Never lucky. Fuck. Fuck. Well, that's the alt account too. I could do alternate content. I could, but I also want to do more hug. You want to hug? Mwah.
Would you care to sit down and join me for some...
There you go. I do want to get to a little bit of Our Life today and do some comfy VA stuff. Cross, I will bonk you, never lucky, against a 25% crit damage artifact. Yeah! And how many months have I been farming on the alt account and not getting shit, huh? It's yeah, okay, never lucky, but also actually, alright? Look, the blue moons should not count against me, okay? That's all I'm saying, alright? That's only fair, right? Alright, let me change the stream to Our Life, and we'll do a little bit of the, a cute, comfy VA. We'll go and meet Cove, and hang out, and dive into that bussy. Waiting for the game to pop up so that I can pause the music in the background. Aha! There we go. Wait, is the game capture not? It should be. There we go. Alrighty. Let's go on a drive. Let's go. Like a lazy cat, you stretch your arms above your head and yawn, blinking your eyes sleepily. The day was warm and pleasant, and you were lounging on the couch in front of the living room, finding it difficult to do much in that moment. In Persona 4 Royal, the last trimester is perfecto. Yo, it's really good. I just wish that they let you interact with and get the dancing fucking gymnastics Kohai character a lot earlier. And Mental Starfish, thank you for the head pats. 1 hour of Genshin, nice. I didn't even reach 1 hour. I ran out of content in 53 minutes, man. And the first, like, 3 minutes was just starting stream. So, 50 minutes of Genshin. Across 2 accounts. Wow. I don't know, Kasumi wasn't to my liking. No, like, I know that, like, Kasumi isn't for everyone, and that's fine. Like, honestly, she wasn't really that amazing of a character for me either. She was likable enough. But what really made me sad is the fact that, like, yeah, sure, you add this new character, and then you don't really get to fucking drive that new car until, like, right at the end. Ah! Why am I being bonked? I got Jean not too long ago. People say that fall damage is her damage type, but may I introduce you to drowning? Yes. Gonna play War Hunter while you play the wholesome game. Nothing better to do to drive a machine of mass destruction while listening to supportive feedback. Yo, true. Yo, true. Your moms and Liz had gone out shopping, looking for some new items for your sister to take back and decorate her college dorm with. They had asked you if you wanted to go with them, but you declined. For you, today was all about relaxation. Cove dropped by to spend some time with you, content to join in and with doing nothing. The two of you had been chatting idly as you lazed around, talking about the other things you had planned for the summer. You stretched out across him as he sat on the couch. Hell yeah. No, really, everything is better than Oya. That's also true. Oya is kind of the worst character. If you've seen the OG Oya design thoughts, man, why did they choose... Okay, hold up. OG Oya Persona 5. Like, concept design. Hold up. Let me see if I can't find it. Cause, okay. Open image in a new tab. So, this, where I need display capture. This is what they were originally planning on making Oya's design. Kind of like a bit of like a sleazy socialite, kind of like reporter lady. A little bit of an alcoholic. Infinitely better than the Oya that we ended up getting. This was the original concept art for Oya. I'm not kidding. You can Google it. You can find it pretty easily. Why did they change it? Yeah, what a good question. What a good question. You had your feet propped up on one of the armrests and used Cove as a comfy cushion beneath your head. Totally settled in. Cove was tense, his legs almost as stiff as two logs, which made things not as comfortable as you had hoped for. The day had dragged on and you found yourself yawning more and more often between conversations. You'd almost dozed off completely when suddenly a buzz rang out, disturbing the silence. Your phone was on its charger in the kitchen, so it couldn't have been that. So Cove pulled his own phone from his back pocket and checked the Okay, hold up. No dude keeps his phone in his back pocket. Okay. Has anyone actually back pocketed your phone? Why? You sit on it on a hard surface and it could ruin everything. I don't understand. Why would you do that? Back pocket? Phone? Nani? Return to OG Oya. And Bocash, you didn't finish it before? Nah, I'm working on it. Ray! Mwah. Welcome. Hope you're doing good. I just started. How you doing, cutie? Mwah. I rarely have a back pocket. No, like, back pockets are for wallets, you know? It's weird. His movement had jostled you, so you tried to readjust your position to get it right again.
Oh.
It's my mom. Cove waved his phone in the air, giving you a small smile. I'm gonna take this. I'll be right back. He carefully nudged you to move. Why do you have to leave for that? Why do you have to use me as a pillow instead of one of the many real pillows here? You rolled your eyes at him, giving him a small laugh. He poked you again, and finally with a groan, you relented. Which one is this? Drive. He got back to his feet and stretched out, answering the call and holding the phone to his ear as he headed off. Hey, Mom. What's up? Tell her I said hi. Or, no, blow him a kiss. He turned and chuckled, throwing you a look as he walked backwards towards the door. The lock clicked behind him as he exited the house, and you sank back into the cushions, idly trying to decide what to do next. After electing to grab your own phone from the charger, you resumed your position on the couch, tapping away at the screen. This was... Oh, wait. I can go back... I'm sorry. Wait, was it not reflection that? Okay, so drive and then happiness. Is that what I'm supposed? Is that what I'm supposed to do? I'm sorry. So drive and happiness. Those are the last two. Yep. Okay. Then we'll do serendipity. Fuck it. Light filtered down through the leaves of an oak tree overhead, casting speckled shadows on the sidewalk all around you. There was a drop of sweat slowly making its way down the side of your face. You flick it away with your thumb, slowing down to a stop in the cool shade. Oya and Kawakami shouldn't be romance options, but Yusuke, Ryuji, Mishima, and Akechi should. I would have liked that, but I think that it helps set Joker as his own character outside of just the playable MC. He's a guy with his own personal tastes, and a lot of them tends to be older women for some reason. He only gets one younger romance target, and that's with the remake. That's with the remake in Royal Kasumi. Everyone else is older than he is. he's got a preference. There's nothing wrong with that. Although it is a little weird that he goes for it is a little weird considering his age. It's a little wonky. I'm not 100% about it. I'm gonna be cutting in and out for a bit. Yeah, I went back. We're doing serendipity instead. The day had you out about in town, in no hurry to go anywhere in particular. Your morning shift just ended, and there was nothing else planned for the rest of the afternoon. Your moms were still at work themselves, and Liz left early in the morning to do something. You had no idea what. You took out your phone, idly noted the time when it started to jingle, and the screen lit up in your hand. Oh, Futaba. Futaba is the only younger romance option. Yeah. Before Kasumi. So a total of what? 1 character in the base, 2 younger characters with the remake. If anything, I feel like that sets a preference. You took out your phone, idly... Oh, wait, I already read that. Speak of the devil, Liz messaged you. Come home ASAP. I need a port of that game to a system that I actually own. Man, Persona really should come out for Switch. Before you can even begin to question why, your phone went off again. Nothing bad, but you have to see this, so like, come back already. And with that final message, you were left to only slightly less confused than you were before. You hadn't really seen much of your sister lately. She had been acting strange for days, always shutting herself up in her room. She found the drugs, which wouldn't be so weird if at the dinner table she didn't suddenly start smirking to herself over, you know, nothing. The rare times you did see her, she'd sneak you some expectant looks, like she was waiting to be asked what's up, but all your questions led nowhere. She'd answer you with a put-upon sigh, proclaim that she was busy, and tell you that she would have to talk about it later. No hints, no guessing, and whatever it was, she was determined to keep it a secret. Maybe now you'd find out what it was. And as you did an about-face on the sidewalk and started heading home, you received a few more texts. To your surprise, the name that popped up on the screen this time was Coves. Did you hear from Liz? About something urgent that you have to see? Slime Rancher is perfecto, I think. Yo. I kind of want to play Slime Rancher. I've heard good things about it. She messaged Cove too. You weren't exactly surprised. Liz teased him about it, but he was like family. However, you were struggling to understand how he fit into Liz's surprise. Yeah, Liz sent me something. His reply only came seconds later as you waited to cross the street. I figured she would. Are you going to see what's up? I'm walking there now. Me too. Glancing up, you saw the light had changed to a walk sign while you were busy texting. You hurriedly wrapped things up, texting Cove a quick goodbye before crossing the street. It was fine. You'd be seeing him later anyway. Please, it's so good, cute, and relaxing. Alright. Actually, is it on sale right now? I've been meaning to, Slime Rancher. Okay, wait. There's also Slime Rancher 2. Oh, that one's not out yet. That's releasing 2022. Aha. Slime Rancher. It's on sale 70% off. Ooh, Poggies. And it's got, ooh, a bunch of DLC as well. Original soundtrack, Secret Style Pack, and original soundtrack 2. Yeah, that's not worth it. It's just sound packs. The only thing that that I think is worth anything at all is the Secret Style. And Kiki, Yahoo, welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? Yeah, I think if I get a DLC, it'll be the Secret Style Pack, but that's not on sale right now anyway. I think I'll just pick up the base game. And thank you for the raid. Can I get a shout out for Kiki? Yeah, so, yeah, secure with PayPal. Recognize you on this device. Skip the login. Bababooey. Agree. Purchase. That's a good thing if there's little no DLC, but base game is perfect. All right. Yeah. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'll definitely check it out later. Definitely check it out later. Not expecting any more messages, you put your phone away so you could walk without having to worry about tripping over the curb. Thankfully, it was a short trek home, and soon enough you were walking up to your street. the familiar face of your house already in view, and thinking about what might be at home. It was exciting, I guess. As weird as it was for Liz to invite Cove, you felt that it, had to be something fun if she went so far as to include him. Actually, you were kind of itching to find out what it was. And Ray, why? And G7, thank you for the host. And Random Squad, Yahoo, welcome to the stream as well. Even from the back, the bright green color of his, sea green color of his hair was unmistakable. You quickened your pace to catch up to him, and Ray, thank you for the host. And the scuff of your shoes loud against the pavement. He heard it instantly, not missing a beat as he turned around towards you and slowed his steps in sync.
Hey.
Hey, Garnet. Hi, here we are, at my house, and Kozak, thank you for the host. Can't believe Cross didn't thank me. What do you mean? I did! Here we are. Twitch hacking slow, but raid indeed. Hell yeah. It sounded almost like a question, wondering why the two of you had been summoned there. Any ideas of what Liz wants us for? You shook your head. The situation was a bit out of character for your sister. Anything could happen. Well, I guess we should go in and find out. I didn't hear it. I was in the bathroom, so it didn't happen. Bruh. 7.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Thank you for the host. Taking his cue, you grabbed your keys and opened up the front door. Cove trailed behind you as you entered. You jumped through the open door, scanning which way for the surprise. And from the entryway, you could see Liz pacing across her living room, her smiling gaze intent on her phone. You had just caught her as she completed a turn, and behind you, the door clicked shut. The second she heard it, her head darted up at your direction, her features lighting up at the sight of you and Cove. What a weird redeem. Not so weird when I say something monka, and you gotta shut me down. Like, hey, I'm about to say the gamer word. Oh boy. Oh boy. Are you ready? Are you ready, kids? Nipple.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Nipple. Suck on the teat. And ne, Oni-chan. Aishiteru yo, Kozak Oni-chan. You've arrived, and together too. That's perfect. Just perfect. She flashed you a radiant smile, and you could almost see her limbs vibrating as if she was poised to pounce. Cove raised an eyebrow at your sister's bizarre behavior. You're in a good mood today. Liz only hummed playfully in response. Liz's eyes narrowed with a mischievous glint as she let out a little cackle. So, lately, I've been hard at work for this little plan of mine. And just so we're clear, drive last, happiness second to last. Alright. Wait. Oh, drive last, happiness is second to last. Okay. Did Cross just skip mine? Wait. Oh, here we go. And, ne, Oni-chan. Are you watching those trap VTubers again, Oni-chan? This is why Mom never fucking loved you, Oni-chan. You're a loser. But it's okay, Oni-chan. I love you. Aishiteru yo. It's just supposed to be like, hey, I don't know what your pronouns are for that instance. You choose Oni-chan or One-chan, but fuck it. Because it's you, G7, I read the whole thing. Alright? That's not what it's there for. And, I've been working on a little plan of mine, and you two get the honor of seeing it all come together. Here it is. Surprise! She lifted a hand in the air to present the very comfortable but completely mundane living room. And Izzy, motherfucker, we're getting real comfy right now. You little shit. Trying to figure out what the fuck's up with my sis. Little cute fucker. Stop getting in the way. Requesting bully. Little shit. Motherfucker. Little cute bitch. Just fucking remember that I fucking love you, bitch. And I'm not gonna stop loving you, bitch. Why isn't there a redeem for emote voice reading though? Don't worry about it. And Ray. Couple hat, that's pretty cute. Yeah. Mwah. In the resulting silence, you and Cove glanced around again, then made eye contact with each other, and his face mirrored your bafflement. Then suddenly another voice rang out in the room.
Surprise!
Cove flinched at the shout, his shoulders shooting up to his ears. Laughter came from your sister as well from the other side of the room. Your head whipped around just to see a familiar figure with a freckled face and a purple cap springing up from behind the back of the couch. Hey, it's Shiloh! Cove's mouth fell open, recognition immediately coming to him. Shiloh? Hi, Cove. Hi, Garnet. The devil himself has returned. And, oh my god. G7, that's not the kind of redeem it is. That's not what it is. Last one, alright? Nah, Oni-chan. Get the hell out of my room, Oni-chan. I'm playing Minecraft. Mwah. Last one, alright? Alright, that's not what it's there for, okay? Okay. Shiloh greeted the two of you so casually, like he had been gone for 10 days rather than 10 years. Shiloh? I thought you weren't the Shiloh we knew. The initial shock quickly wore off. You crossed your arms and leveled a look at the freckled face who had ditched you at the start of summer. He treated you and Liz like complete strangers. Shiloh shifted nervously, angling the brim of his hat down as if to hide from your scrutiny. Liz tutted at your comment. Glazed lilies are... No, do not buy those. Miss Maker, do not buy those. You can pick them up for fucking free in Chingsei Village as well as in Liyue. Do not buy those. And G7, I told you. That's not what that's there for. Nah, Oni-chan. That's all you get now, alright? That's not what it's there for, alright? Stop abusing my love for you, cute fucker. Alright? It's wholesome, even so. Alright? Y'all ever get the temptation to eat a KFC bucket outside of the chicken farm, or is that just me? No, me too. Show the chimkins who's boss. I'm not going to, but it just astonished me. Yeah, no, people, you know what the worst part is? Some people have fallen for that scam. It was like a legit thing. Refund me then? No, I don't think I will. I'll take my curse buck somewhere else. Afranta, Yahoo. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Shiloh shifted nervously. Well, I already read that.
Rude.
And ooh, hey, SDA, Yahoo. Welcome to the stream. It's been a while. How are you? Cross, I didn't think Catboys ate chicken. Now listen here, you little shit. I'm a fox, goddammit. All right. You know what you kept out of chicken pens? Foxes. Cause we'll fuck them up. All right. We'll fucking kidnap a chimkin. Destroy him. DLC, yes. Don't be rude. I'll explain. When we got home that day, I changed my mind about letting it go. Why did I have to? Social media exists, right? So I thought, why not try finding him and sending him a little message? Luckily, there was only so many 17-year-old Shiloh Fields in the world. It wasn't that hard to do. Hearing Liz speak seemed to encourage Shiloh, who pulled himself together to face you and your sister with a careful smile.
Sorry.
I'm really sorry about what happened. When you talked to me that first time, I was in the middle of a tour for a school field trip. I couldn't get separated from the group, and I didn't expect anyone to want to be talking to me. I was so worried about getting back to everyone else, I didn't think too hard on what you were saying. But when Lizzie's message showed up, everything, suddenly hit me. Lizzie, Garnet, Cove, you were the kids of Sunset Bird, back when I was a little kid. There's no way I could forget that. I mean, not for real. I do know all of you, and I am so happy I got to see you again. I have Lizzie to thank for that. My mom was already planning on taking a short trip near here this summer.
Well,
if my mom could bring me along, Lizzie offered to pick me up and bring me to the rest of the way here so I could just visit the neighborhood again. Chimkin tender, yes. Fucking asshole. Look, people forget things, alright? People forget things all the time. Also, he was he's 17 now. This has been 10 years, so he was 7. I can understand how a 17-year-old would forget something that happened when he was 7. I'm pretty sure he remembered some shit, and he's making up a couple of excuses. But I'm reserving judgment. I am reserving judgment. Shiloh just trying to get into the pants of a certain girl, bruh. That's also possible. It's also possible that that's what's happening. He actually didn't forget. Yeah, no, I agree with you, but Also, if he's not lying about the school trip, then I don't 100% blame him. He can't get separated. That would cause a lot of issues. I don't know. I'm reserving judgment for now. And that's why I decided to make it a big reveal instead of outright telling you to. I got back in contact with Shiloh. Is she legal yet? Yes, she's 20. She's 20 right now. Because we're 18 and she's 2 years older. Oh, random squad, no. We can't have that, no. Think about why we can't have that on stream for 1 second. Once again, it's a song. It doesn't matter. Twitch doesn't care. That could pop up in chat on the screen and I'll just get in trouble. It's more the fact that the word baby and blender coming together in a sentence is just is monka. Once again, she lifted a hand in the air, properly presenting that long-lost childhood friend that you all shared. So, ta-da! I mean, you were a bit unsure as to how to feel about it. You glanced between Liz's face and Shiloh's. The expectant smile she wore had you reflexively smiling back, but your heart wasn't exactly in it. Cole blinked slowly, a little dazed by everything going on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna get some water. Don't, disappear or anything. He padded off to the kitchen. No need for a chaperone. He knew where the cups were. Wow, you really surprised him, Lizzie. And Garnet, too. Did you see your face when I appeared? Yes, I did. Liz patted the cushion in front of the couch. Make yourself comfortable. You don't have to keep hunkering down behind there anymore. With a laugh, Shiloh crossed around the backside and took the seat. But maybe it was awkward being the only one sitting because he kept idly twiddling his fingers. You could hear him humming to himself, a nonsense tune with no real melody, something to just keep his voice busy. Being here again could be more nerve-wracking for him than he really let on. Cove's soft voice announced his return. He paused to drag the back of his hand across his mouth, wiping away the droplets of water lingering there. Hi, Shiloh. Welcome back. At Cove's confused greeting, Shiloh laughed cheerily.
Thanks.
Thanks. I think it's amazing that you're all still here in the same neighborhood. It's just like how it was back then. Shiloh sighed happily at the moment as Cove raised an eyebrow and gave the room a considering glance. Hey, this is where we met the first time, remember? The wedding DLC was announced for later this month. Pog? Pogu? Right after I moved in, me and Garner were brought down here to have a playdate with you. Shiloh laughed, his eyes downcast as he fiddled with the cord of his collared shirt. Yeah, we met on the hill behind the house. What? The two of you ran away from the living room because Cove didn't want to meet me. You grimaced, remembering how Cove had gone straight for the window to escape the arranged meeting. You had gone with him when Shiloh had arrived. Cove cringed at the memory of his younger self, being pushed back to the forefront of his mind. Oh man, I can't wait for another DLC where absolutely nothing happens. Bruh. Runs from Ray Ray. His mouth going tight, he awkwardly looked away from Shiloh. Hey, you've got a good memory.
Oh?
Oh, I don't think so. It's just that seeing this place again just kind of brings a lot of things back. This whole game is nothing happening and it's perfect, exactly. He clapped his hands together, an idea suddenly coming to him. But hey, now that our group's together, you want to just hang out and visit some of the old places? I've been hiding in the living room since I got here. Liz wasn't afraid to laugh at herself, bring a hand to her chest to silently take the blame for that. So you're a separate character. Think of it as, you play a separate character that you can't see because you're viewing everything from your character's perspective. So Liz is your older sister. Shiloh is a younger childhood friend that used to cling around Liz a lot. And Cove is your childhood best friend, come lover. This whole game is a huge slice of life anime filler episode, yeah. But at least Liz is hot. I'd love to. Slice of life is not filler. Yeah, slice of life itself isn't filler unless the theme of the anime is different. If the theme of the anime was slice of life from begin with, it's not filler. Slice of life is only filler if you're like, you know, if it's like a shonen or fucking or like a mystery, you know, something like that. It has to be like a drastically different tone. Yeah. Without missing a beat, the others turn to you for an answer. Well, where to first?
That's fine.
I'm sure we'll like figure it out along the way. And with that, the four of you headed out to the neighborhood as one. Even with how short the time you spent indoors was, the sun was momentarily blinding once you left the house. Squinting, you brought your hand up to shield her eyes. The pleasant summer day had yet to go away. Only a few wispy clouds drifted along the sky. And as you strolled down the way, Liz took the lead, followed by you and Cove walking side to side. Shiloh freely took to walking in the middle of the road, his arms idly swinging back and forth at his sides as he turned his head every which way to take in as much as he could. It was very much a trip down memory lane for him, and you wondered how much of the neighborhood had changed in his eyes. Not a word passed between the group about where you were headed first, but soon enough you found yourself walking the usual path through the shopping street. Before you reached it, the sounds of it did, a collective of sandals tracking sand, the shrill call of seagulls, the overlapping conversation of beachgoers, and random strains of music from various stalls. Wow. The only one useful thing about Cove is that you can cross-dress him as his mother. Bruh. The odd gasp had come from Shiloh, his eyes all lit up. Was there always so many different stores in one place?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, of course. Wow, I can see why so many people come here. Hey, do they still have those nice little ice cream stands? Yup, that hasn't changed. Hey, we should get some. It'll be my treat. Thanks, Shiloh. Ice cream sounds like perfect on such a hot day. How about you, Cove? You could see that unlike Liz, Cove was struggling with the decision, brow wrinkled in thought. Finally, a hesitant smile appeared on his face as he settled on keeping the spirit of the special occasion. Yeah, sounds good to me. Awesome. And Garnet? Yeah, I'd like that, thanks. Shiloh gave you a wide grin, as if you were the one buying him ice cream. The four of you walked down as ice cream plans were further discussed. You gonna get a popsicle, Izzy? Yes. Hearing that, Shiloh smiles shyly. I thought you might still like that. I'm gonna get an ice cream cone. Shiloh turned towards Cove, but before he could ask, Cove offered up his choice. I'll get an ice cream sandwich. I'm gonna get... I like cones. Shiloh had the right idea for this one. It was the best choice. You used to like those, Cool. Yup. There was an ice cream stall further up the street, across from a souvenir shop displaying postcards on the seaside and saltwater taffy in its windows. The stand itself was already hard to miss with its pastel pinks and blues and its eye-catching poster boards listing every individual flavor. It was impossible to notice ignore once the catchy little jingle playing from its speakers was added. Shiloh greeted the owner and began picking out the treats that everyone had chosen. He paid for them before handing them out to the respective owners. Sinking your teeth into your ice cream cone, you relished in the sweet chill it left in your mouth. And Liz was right. This was a perfect treat for a summer day. Do you remember the Chi of Your quest? Because I'm trying to find where the quest giver is and she isn't where she's supposed to be. Chi of Your. That sounds familiar. Hold up. Chi of Your Genshin. Is that the... Yaner, investigate the ruins, ask the local Chingsei about the fragments, talk to the granny, So which part of the quest are you in? Because you're supposed to investigate ruins, ask locals, then ask the granny specifically. You have to search for multiple fragment locations, decipher, and then find a way into the vault. Once you're in the vault, you have to defeat a bunch of rune guards and a hunter or two, and that's how you handle it. It shouldn't be too difficult unless something worked out, because that does happen sometimes. And Equinox, welcome back, cutie. Liz held her popsicle away from herself, careful to not let it drip down onto her dress. She was trying to go about eating it as delicately as she could while Shiloh dug into his. I stumbled across the first quest before I actually talked to the quest giver. I might have fucked something. Oh no. Have you tried going to the first part of the quest and doing it over again? Maybe that'll fix it. It's rare for like a quest to hard bug out in Genshin, but it does happen. Worst case scenario, you can always send in a support ticket. You counted only 2 to 3 bites before Cove had devoured his sandwich. Shiloh laughed, also noticing the way Cove just inhaled his food. It's already finished? Do what? Worst case scenario, you can send in a support ticket. And like be like, hey, this quest is like bugged, and I don't know why. What does the quest tell you to do right now? Cove shrugged in reply. I never knew quests could bug. Yeah, it's actually pretty rare. It does happen here and there though. Look, all right, it's been a week, okay? I forgot. I'm sorry. Cove shrugged a little in reply. I read the incomplete stone and gathered the 3 stones. Have you talked to the granny again? After you decipher everything, I think you're supposed to talk to the granny. Try tracking the quest specifically too, see if that helps. But James says, motherfucker, cute bitch, little shit. We're in the middle of a cute moment. You little rat, you little bitch boy, motherfucker, you little koala, you little koala. That's right. You ain't even kangaroo, you just koala, big fluffy bitch. Did you fucking remember that I fucking love you, bitch? And I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. Oh, never mind. It just didn't notify me. Hey, there we go. No, yeah. Sometimes untracking and retracking a quest helps a lot for some reason. So, what have you been doing around since I've been gone? Wow, that bully was harsh? Of course. Only the harshest of bullies. Well, I already told you about me attending college away from here, so I don't really live here anymore. But to be more specific on life, I'm pursuing a degree in architecture. Shiloh actually perked up at that, his mouth falling open in awe. Oh, that's amazing.
Thanks.
Thanks. Actually, I was thinking about it when the first time I really decided I liked buildings was when building them, and building them was when you and I would make sandcastles like out on the beach.
Aww.
Aw, Lizzie. That's such a sincere mission from your sister. All Shiloh could do was blush and lower his head, too flattered to know what else to say. Liz laughed at that, just as flustered, as though she had been the one to say it. The atmosphere was a little awkward, but not unpleasant. Shiloh shyly glanced over at you and Cove. And what about you two? What have you been up to?
Oh.
Me and Gardner just graduated. High school, I mean. I've got a part-time job, and I volunteer at this organization to clean stuff up. Things like that. I'm mainly taking it easy right now. It's summer after all. I just want to make the most of it while I can. Cove nodded along with you. It was a sentiment he shared. Shiloh seemed just happy to hear it.
Great!
Great! Being around him again was a little like picking at an old forgotten habit. Clunky at first, but as the 4 of you talked, it started to come together more naturally. And when one of you ran out of things to say, suddenly someone else remembered something new. Oh, right. Do you remember those mean old, not actually grandparents that used to live in our neighborhood? Yeah, they were so mean. Well, they're like not here anymore. Oh no! They're not spending summers here anymore. They're still alive. Oh, thank goodness. It helped that Shiloh was just as eager to hear what had gone on in his absence as people were to tell him. Soon, everyone threw out what trash that they had in the nearby garbage can as your group made their way down towards the beach. Going down the shore inevitably led to a certain spot. Bury the dead, why don't you? They're not dead, they just didn't come back, alright? Yet. Bury the lead? Lead? Bury the lead? 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 Bullet? Bullet? It didn't take very long for Shiloh to recognize what was in the distance. His words trailed off in the middle of a sentence, footsteps faltering at first. I learned to refund my unredeemed, totally not gonna use this power to get all my curse bucks back. Ooh, hey, oi. Jotomate. Chotomate, alright? You got your redeem. It just wasn't exactly what you were imagining it to be, alright? I already explained it to you twice. Huh? Can't refund yourself when you're the one abusing the system, motherfucker. Marabus. Marabus. Then all at once, he broke away from the group and dashed right into the old park, giggling as he ran. Everything's so small. His laughter petered out as he came to a stop by the swings and grabbed hold of one of the support poles. He walked in a little circle around it, marveling at how easily his hand wrapped around its entirety. Bury the lead, as in putting the most important information at the end and leading with misdirection? Ah, yes. Oh, I get it. Emboldened by Shiloh's enthusiasm, Liz plopped herself down on one of the swing sets, only to instantly show an expression of regret. There was no way that she was comfortable in that tiny seat so low to the ground. Not with how she had to scrunch up her legs to fit there, and how fucking thick her thighs were. Shiloh creeped up behind her. Of course he did. He took hold of the chains of her swing, one in each hand.
Seriously?
What are you doing? And with a grin, Shiloh started walking back. Liz shifted in her seat to look back at him. You cannot, like, be trying to push me. These are, like, made for kids. It's, like, never gonna work. But Shiloh just hummed and kept pulling her back. Resigning herself to her fate, Liz tucked her legs as much as possible as Shiloh moved his hands towards her back. With a running start, he got her forwards and up as far as he could go before jumping out of the way. Liz had her eyes screwed shut, a screech escaping her as the swing started to fall backwards, and when it swung back around, there was Shiloh was again to push her. She could have kicked the ground like when you were kids. Her legs were just too long for that now. But Shiloh was still pushing her enough to keep the momentum going. The air was filled with their wild laughter and almost rhythmic jangle of the swing chains. Cove sat out against the bars of the jungle gym. He's a fucking shrimp? Absolutely. Wearing a bent smile as he watched them. He was fiddling with something, turning it over and over again in his hands. When you craned your neck to get a better view, he obligingly lifted it for you to see. It was a piece of shell, one side rough and mottled gray, the other side completely smooth, revealing a faint blue sheen when it caught the light. I saw it on the beach. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good one. No, I meant Shiloh. He seems more confident than I remembered. Why don't you push me on the swings like that? Yeah, I think so too. He and Liz looked closer than they did as kids. Do you want to see Bronya glow up for Honkai how he became in the future? A little bit, sure. And ama aigu ya werki kiona fenixu aigu ino ama kiona and ne oni-chan Phoenix Oni-chan haishiteru yo Oni-chan and ne Equinox Oni-chan haishiteru yo Oni-chan Gib. Cove nodded, leaning back to enjoy the breeze blowing in from the sea. Oh, also, group chat. Ooh! Brony in the future on Star Rail. Oh, wait, is Star Rail like a sequel to Honkai? Is that what it is? Brony turns from hello ma'am to your son calls me mommy too. Soon your sister began to speak out. Alright, I'm ready to get off now. How do you stop this? Don't worry. Shiloh braced himself, one foot planted forward as the swing started to come back down. Then in one quick motion, he caught up and caught the chains again. The impact had his feet skidding back in the sand, but he kept his stance steady. Yes, what SDA SD SSD 11 said? SDA SD SSD 11. SDA SD SSD 11. SDA SD SSD 11. There we go. I did it. I only fumbled twice. Liz was surprised at the sun being suddenly brought to a halt. She didn't show it, only tilting up her head to smile at him. Shiloh had yet to catch his breath, though returned the smile just as brightly. Like a CD player, crosses skipping better bonk him to fix it. No! No, you didn't. You had to say the whole phrase, not just the name. Oh. Yes, what SDA SD SSD 11 said. Yes, what SDA SD SSD 11 said. Yes, what SDA SD SSD 11 said. There we go. 3 times. Didn't stutter this time, bitch. He let go of the chains, walking around the swing set and briefly rubbing his hands together before offering one to Liz, which she graciously accepted, needing the help to get out of the tiny seat. Then the two of them made their way back over to Yun Cove. Liz was looking more ruffled than usual. The bonk weren't shush, no! And her sun hat was off kilter, having held on to dear life the entire ride. She took a moment to straighten out her outfit back into place. That looked like fun. It was! Even though you were just pushing me, like, on the swing. Ah! Ne, Oni-chan. Aishiteru yo, Oni-chan. Ne, Oni-chan. You're a little degenerate, Oni-chan. And you're never escaping. But I love you, Oni-chan. Aishiteru yo. Oni-chan. Yeah, that was the fun part. Huh. Hey, Shiloh. You've got an idea of what our lives have been like since you've been gone, but I wonder what happened to you after you moved away. Shiloh's eyes went wide, as if it was surprising to hear. Crosswise the FBI outside my door? You couldn't recall him talking about himself when you were all telling stories, but maybe he just hadn't found the right timing. He brought his hand to his chin, tapping it thoughtfully as he looked up and to the side. Well, what happened was, my mom decided to move back down south, closer to where I was born. We stayed there for a few years until she got another job offer in California again, thanks to a connection she had here. It was a really good job at a private boarding school, so she decided to take it. With a wide grin, he said the next part. And as a bonus, her kid, me, gets to attend the school and live in the dorms for free. So I've been there since my 2nd year middle school. Pretty soon, I'm gonna be starting my last year high school. Liz leaned towards him with an attentive smile on her face. Have you been doing well there? Like getting good grades? Got any friends? At the list of questions, Shiloh waved his hands in front of himself as if they were physical things he could stave off. Yeah, to everything. I mean, it can be a little hard sometimes because how people are in that school, but I'm happy. How people are? Cove couldn't guess what that meant, but Liz folded her arms, scowling. Don't tell me there's more people like that Nate guy hanging around. Shiloh rubbed at his cheek, laughing nervously. He glanced from the bars of the jungle gym to the laces of his shoes, to the tree swaying in the distance, somewhat unsure where to rest his eyes. Well, not exactly. Nate doesn't mean to be mean, he just kind of is. He's the school #1 performer for athletics and academics. He always takes on so much responsibility that the only possible way he can finish it all is if absolutely nothing goes wrong. But that's impossible. So he's always stressed and ready to snap. He really can't handle it when someone seems to be causing a problem. That's why during the field trip he was upset when I went off on my own like that. Still, he's really smart, and reliable, and sensitive, and he cares a lot. Most of the time, he doesn't even realize his way of dealing with stuff just upsets other people. Cove had a patient smile on his face, listening earnestly as Shiloh rattled off his list of Nate's good traits. Well, you seem to know him pretty well. Are you, like, actually friends? Well, not exactly. Me and Nate are just in the same after-school group. About once a month, me, him, 6 other students, and a supervisor get together and talk. We did it again all last year, and I think next year is going to be the same group again, so I hope so. That's a little weird, but you decide not to comment on it. Personally, I'd still appreciate having a word with Nate about his communication skills. Her tone of voice was low and pointed, and you'd be worried for Nate if not for the playful smile that accompanied her words. Shiloh let out a little laugh at that. I do have Nate's number, but he wouldn't pick up. The people in my group only answer when they feel like hearing from me, so I actually have to wait for them to call. Either that or they never considered answering my calls, or calling me, or talking to me at all unless the supervisor forces them to. Oh shit, this is some toxic relationship stuff, bruh. It was such a bleak description of his dynamic with his group, but he didn't seem to realize it until he glanced up and saw the concerned looks on everyone's faces. His smile fell, and he hastened to add one more thing. Well, except one who will always answer for sure. Oh? She immediately perked up.
Really?
So that's like a friend of yours? Ah. He hesitated to answer, something Cope picked up on. Not exactly. Yeah, I'd like to be friends, though. Alright. Liz crossed her arms together once more, grim-faced like she was the commander of a ship about to lead her little crew to battle. Well, you should call them, like, right now. Jeremy kind of better now? Wait, oh, is it Jeremy? What? If you want to be friends with them, like, I can help. If you're going to be in the same group again, you should at least try and get along. Oh, no, I couldn't. He quickly grew flustered, his tongue stumbling over his sentences. I don't want to be a bother.
I mean...
Liz, what are we gonna do? Watch him while he talks to someone on the phone? No, Cove. Shiloh. The last syllable of Shiloh's name trailing off into nothing. It soon would become clear that Liz had not fully thought out of the plan yet, but she wouldn't be Liz if she just stopped there. Shiloh, could you put them on video call? We can all talk together, of course. She clapped her hands together, a wide smile on her face. Wow, that isn't fucking weird at all. That didn't leave room for dissenting opinions.
All right.
It's a good idea. It'll, like, work. It's a terrible idea. Shiloh, you don't have to listen to her. Oh, alright. Liz sent you a roll of her eyes as if you were the one with the ridiculous idea. Jeremy looks exactly like a fuckboy. Kinda cute, bruh. Come on, Shiloh. We'll just talk to them so that we're your friends from out of town. And, like, the worst thing that happens is, like, nothing changes. But once they have more chances to, like, talk to you, I know they'll be convinced to be better friends. It's going to turn out okay, alright? Shiloh stalled to answer, but his hand was already hovering over the pockets of his pants. Alright, we can talk. Yes! Liz clenched her hands into a fist, cheering as Shiloh officially reached into the pocket, pulled out his phone. You noticed it was the same type of model as your own, but his had a red case around it. The screen lit up and Shiloh requested a video call with some number in his contacts. None of them on the list had names, so he must remember what number belonged to what person. Okay, that's weird. That's weird, champ. That's weird. He inched closer to the three of you so everyone could hear better. Vaguely, you wondered how this looked from the outside. 4 teenagers on the verge of adulthood, hanging out on an old playground, all huddled up around a single phone. Strange? Suspicious? The ring of the phone broke you out of your musings. You kept your eyes on it, your heart speeding up at each dial tone, thinking, could this be it, only to have another one start up? It had been ringing for a while as you started to think of what Cove said, about all of you watching as Shiloh talked on the phone. Maybe even that wouldn't happen. Shiloh just a straight sociopath? Borderline. Shiloh could sense the awkwardness in the air, smiling to try to dispel it. This is normal, don't worry. Just as he said it, the call ended, not even going to voicemail. Shiloh clicked to redial. He never answers in the first call, then he always does in the second. That's how he is, at least with most people. There are exceptions. You, Liz, and Cove furtively shared ambiguous looks, none of you wanting to accidentally discourage Shiloh. Then you focused on the phone again as it started to ring once more. The jingling suddenly cut off in the middle, followed by the faint sound of white noise. With a big smile and flushed cheeks, Shiloh brought the phone up to his face. A voice, low and groggy, came rasping out of the speakers. Hello. Shiloh, on the other hand, was much more chipper.
Hi.
Hi, I'm visiting a town I used to live in when we were a kid, when I was little. I wanted to introduce my group mate to the people I knew back then. Some of them have already met Nate. Can you say hey to them too? With that rushed introduction, Shiloh took the phone out towards Cove, gesturing for him to respond to the person on the other end. Although Cove hadn't been on board in the beginning, the only indication now was the lopsided tilt of his smile. He gazed down towards the screen, opening his mouth to speak, only to stutter to a complete stop. Huh? All Cove could do was sputter and gape at the screen. His reaction had Shiloh's brow crinkling in worry. What? Shiloh's groupmate didn't sound particularly impressed with how this conversation was going so far. Shiloh frowned, retracting his arm around Cove, and as he did so, the screen tilted towards you, and he caught a glimpse of what was on the screen. Light green hair, sharp orange eyes shadowed with bags, icy pale skin, all tied together to make up the scowling face of a person who clearly had no desire to be here. Okay, Yo, the glow up, though. The fuck? Jeremy glowed up. I shrimp for old Jeremy, though? What? How, though, Bocage? How? You knew him. A flood of memories arose. Flashes that one summer years ago at the same park. You holding onto an arrangement of fruit. Derek and Cove at your side. And the mean, tiny as a chihuahua kid snapping at everyone who dared come close. Are you... Jeremy? Yeah. His reply was palpably disinterested. How do you know his name was Jeremy? You didn't tell them? No, I only called you someone from my group at school. Jeremy regarded you cautiously, for the first time giving the situation a little of his focus. Cove bristled, sucking in a long, deep, dramatic breath.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! All at once he sounded shouting, not just with his voice. He waved his arms all around, gesturing wildly with his hands, and repeatedly yelled, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" with all sorts of inflections. Oh my god! Oh my god! At these antics, Jeremy gave a short huff of a sigh through his teeth, the sound tinny of the phone speakers. Just what is this, Shiloh? You trying to make me suffer? You still mad about what happened at the amusement park? I was on your side, you know. Liz, who had been entirely lost this whole time, finally spoke up.
Huh?
What, happened at the amusement park? But no one paid that question any mind. I don't know what's going on. Have you met each other before? No. It was such an immediate reply from Jeremy, but then those stinging eyes squinted. Wait. There was a flash of recognition there as he leaned towards and scrutinized the both of you. His already wide eyes found a way to grow deeper at his realization.
Oh, it's you people.
Oh,
again.
You people. Again. Turn Zhao's lines into emote? Bruh, that's not what it's for. I gave G7 two times, so you get 2 times as well, alright? You know what? Let me look up some Zhao lines. I don't have them all memorized, except, you know, lament. Perish. Okay, Zhao voiceovers. If you awake to a knife at your throat, if monsters dig their claws into you, if death comes knocking at your door, call out my name, Adeptus Zhao. I'll be here when you call. Boring! Those memories, so dark. Demons do not stop for the rain. Move, Oni-chan. He looked at Shiloh, to Cove, and to you, and you could tell he was carefully putting his thoughts together. Damn long ass. I don't concern myself with the weather. Emoticon. What is this prediction? No, Choto, what is this? Yamero, stop it. I was distracted with the deafening sound of 20 battle tanks clashing. Who's this fuckboy? Why are they arguing? This is that bowl cut asshole. Grown up. The glow up.
Sorry.
I have no idea how you people got in contact with me, or what Shiloh has to do with this, but... Sorry. What? Jeremy sighed again, his gaze rolled over to Cove. Look, I don't remember exactly what I did or what I said, but I do know what I was like as a kid, and... Well, really, that's all I need to know. Well, okay, who's that apology for? It better be for me and Garnet. He spoke sternly, though as if there was no hiding the shakiness present, but that didn't matter. Cove coming to your defense when confronting Jeremy brought a warm smile to your face. Jeremy, on the other hand, continued to be unimpressed. The corner of his lip twitched. Look, I didn't need to know what the teenage guy equivalent of a smoochy squeak is, but now I do. Thanks for that. A small offended noise escaped Cove. Unfortunately, it was also squeaky sounding, his face immediately burning red with embarrassment. Hey, that's my squeak toy you're talking about. With your thumb, you pointed out at Cove for added emphasis. Cove huffed in disbelief, but he couldn't fight the smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. Jeremy didn't react at all. He just continued watching the 4 people on the other end of this unwanted call lackadaisically.
Whatever.
Look, the apology is for whoever. Anyone who had to deal with me back then, they weren't having a good time. He shrugged. Jeremy's focus cycled back from you to Cove, and then back again. I actually don't know if mods can do channel goals. I kind of how much longer are you streaming? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I didn't play Genshin Impact, but now I do because of Goro. Think about it. Half dog, femboy archer. Spicy. I kind of remember what happened, I think. Let's get a channel goal for a 48-hour stream. Bruh. You were sensitive, and you tried to be nice. What a tragedy that was. Jeremy tilted his head Cove's way, and then to yours, respectively. Amazed, Cove actually took a few processing moments before he could respond. If Miami is still streaming, please rate her. Sure. We need a femboy Goro skin. Yo, can we just get Goro in a maid outfit? Thanks. Thanks, Mihoyo. Amazed, Cove took a few processing moments before he could actually respond, and he blinked and rubbed the back of his neck. Oh, thanks. I mean, it's no problem. Make it like 170k channel points for no reason specifically. It's not like it's the amount I have or anything. Dude, if you set a channel goal, a specific individual can only contribute 2k points per stream. So you would need enough people contributing points every stream to reach the goal. The fuck you doing that seductive voice, man? You're gonna try to get me attracted to a green-haired anime pic with text? I accept your apology. Thank you, Jeremy. This moment was kind of the absolute last thing you'd expected today, but you couldn't help but be pleased it happened. Check out a free game called Arc Riders. It'll be free to play open world RPG shooter where you fight against machines. Alright. Whatever. Following Cove's eyes, you watched it dart from Shiloh to Jeremy, openly wondering what happened to Jeremy over these last few years. So, you're, nice now?
Nope.
Nope. I just don't throw tantrums or pick fights anymore. But I'm definitely not nice. Jeremy shook his head in disbelief. That squeak toy comment wasn't a compliment, you know. It's almost midnight. I should probably go to sleep since I have work tomorrow. Good night, G7. Get plenty of sleep, okay? Much love to much love to Italy. Look, I just don't have the energy to get angrily worked up like I used to when I was a kid. It's all pointless anyway. Now, I'm just miserable. His last tone was even grumblier than usual. Dragged the syllables out for the last word for extra emphasis. Miserable. Oh. An awkward laugh escaped Shiloh, then his mouth pulled into a demure smile. Don't let what Jeremy says about himself get you too down. He's got people who care about him, and make sure he's okay, like me. Don't listen to Shiloh. It's nice that you're looking out for someone else, Shiloh. Shiloh blushed at the compliment, while Jeremy fixed you with a blank stare. Thanks, Scarlet. Okay, like, seriously, how long am I, like, meant to be out of the loop here? Her expression twisted in frustration as Liz rubbed her right temple. Why am I the only one that doesn't, like, know this kid? Shiloh goes to school with him, and that's, like, fine. But how did, like, the two of you meet him, and I didn't? You try to explain. Well, you were there, I think. He was around town one summer, maybe, like, 5 years ago. Is that, like, all? While Liz seemed a bit underwhelmed, Shiloh apparently seemed to be utterly amazed. You had to hold back a small laugh.
Really?
Wait, you knew Jeremy as a little kid? What was he like? I've only known him for a year and a half. Liz somehow never interacted with the guy? Yeah. Well, crossing an Animos bonus goblet, like you said. I don't know, the subsets are good. Can I pick the DME picks in Discord? Yep, that works for me. And I can just tell you, the ideal set of, I can give you the ideal set of substats that you're looking for. But it's a goblet. You don't need to be quite so picky. As long as you've got like two of the subsets, you'll be fine. Ooh. His voice immediately hushed into nothing, and you could see Cove just wince thinking about the past encounters. Cove doesn't Jeremy impression. Oh no. You reflected on that as well. You could already picture past Jeremy in his mind. He was kind of a mean kid. You weren't sure how to explain him besides that simple term. Cove nodded firmly in agreement. It didn't really matter what happened. He was just mad about, like, everything. He really was. Jeremy's expression didn't give away a single sign of what he might have been thinking. He just continued to blindly stare at the both of you until he finally spoke. Yep. That sounds like me. Come on, do the fun choice. He was kind of pathetic. He shrugged and glanced at Cove. He's still slowly nodding.
Yep.
He still says the same thing. And Q-chan, Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome. At that confirmation, Shallow burst out into uncontrolled laughter. Even when he calmed down moments later, gasping for breath, there was still a bit of a wide grin plastered on his face. I can't imagine Jeremy being like that. I can't imagine him not being like that. They both chuckled again. Cove's mouth pulled into a bent smile. I mean, Jeremy hasn't made fun of my eyebrows once this whole conversation. That's kind of unbelievable. And Tyler, Yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? Just vibing. Just doing a little bit of casual VA stuff. Just relaxing. The thing that I hate most about Genshin is that Toma's birthday is on January 9th and mine is on the 10th. It's one day apart. They should have just made it on the 10th. Oh, you wanted to share birthdays, I see. Oh. Oh, and Yaga. Okay, let's see here. Animal Goblet. Ooh, that's crit damage. That's not bad at all. Attacks. Okay, so for the Animal Goblet, ideal subs are there we go. That should be concise enough. There's an image in group chat that you might want to see. All right. The super nut, bruh. And is that Zhao Mika, bruh? Yai Miko, but with Zhao head. I'm kind of Genshin optimizing noises. Keyboard ASMR. So Yaga, it doesn't matter which sets are, as long as you have 2-piece Venereer and 2-piece Glad or 2-piece Shimenawa. As long as you have the 15% animal bonus 2 set and attack 18% 2 set. As long as you have those, you're fine. It doesn't need to be specific gladiator. Shimenawa's is a lot easier to farm for. Shimenawa, it's the white artifact set. The white and red artifact set from Inazuma. The ones that you get alongside the purple and black ones on the third island of Inazuma. The rainy one. I'll try, thank you. Yeah, no worries.
Huh.
Jeremy blinked and focused all of his attention on Cove. His eyes unmistakably narrowed on the eyebrows, and he didn't say anything at first. Then his words came out in a mumble. I don't know any Inazuma artifacts, to be honest. I shall just look. No, yeah. If so, just focus on your clad pieces. That'll be fine. That makes sense. I guess insulting eyebrows was just what I did as a kid. What does that mean? What do you think it means? You weren't the only kid in the world with bad eyebrows. And you're not the only one I picked on for it.
Seriously?
I wasn't? You couldn't just help yourself, could you? Nope. Wow. So, what made their eyebrows bad? Are you curious as if yours are better by terrible eyebrow standards, at least? No.
Sigh.
He literally says the word sigh, bruh. Incredulously, Cove looked from Jeremy to you, then back to him again. And you have to question if you actually heard that right. He spoke the word sigh. Oh my god, so he actually did. It wasn't just a meme. Instead of actually sighing. Noticing the reaction, Jeremy sighed for real, but he continued on to answer Cove's question. The guy was particularly odd coloring. White hair, but only the top of his head. Every other strand on his body is dark brown, including his immensely bushy eyebrows. And he was born that way. It's not dyed. So you were the scarred boy with the dumb wavy eyebrows, and he was the white-haired boy with the stupid caterpillar eyebrows. Ow. Unexpectedly, a loud gasp came from Shiloh at that description. No! You pricked on Pran for his eyebrows? I did. I'm sure you find that hilarious. No, that's not very funny. So he said, but Shiloh was smothering laughter. The unconvinced note in Jeremy's voice didn't surprise you. Okay, wait. Give me a second. Let me just... Jeremy rolled his eyes in the slowest, most exaggerated way possible. When he made a complete circle, he spoke flatly while Shiloh broke into a fit of giggles. There. Who's Pran? Shiloh knows him too?
Well,
Jeremy and Pran have known each other for like a long time. They managed to go to the same boarding school later on. I met them both there in the spring of last year. We're all group mates. Jeremy's gaze slid away from Shiloh, and he looked somewhere between you and Cove. Pran and I met about 4.5 years ago, back when I was still an intolerable brat and Pran was meek. You can only imagine how amazing that combination was. Yeah, must make those group meetings awkward. No. Somehow, someway, for some reason, Pran chose to stubbornly stick with me for as long as we've known each other. He's my best friend. And Yaga, get some goody food. What? It's surprising, I know. I have a best friend, and it's the caterpillar brow guy of all people. But I guess things balanced out in the end. Pran's timid nature is good and dead, and he grew up to be colder than even me. I'm mopey, and he's broody. Perfect match. Two peas ruining everyone's life pod.
Gross.
Don't quote Everett. Cove whined after Jeremy snapped at his last remark. Now, who's Everett? You don't want to know. Yeah, you don't want to know. Shiloh hummed as he watched his 3 old friends with an amused smile. He was having fun, and before he could say anything, Jeremy continued. Everett is also part of the group, unfortunately. But he chose not to elaborate any further than that, and it was Liz that side this time. You could feel her frustration, and you couldn't exactly blame her for that. She hadn't been able to participate much at all. She didn't know Jeremy then, so there was no basis for reminiscing now, and there was a 10-year gap with her history with Shiloh. The whole scene struck as an odd chord with you. This whole scene is just pure fan service? A little bit, yeah. The 2 boys that knew each other that knew separately came to know each other. And now they know each other in a much better way that, wait, hold up. 2 boys that you knew separately came to know each other. And now they know each other much better than they know any of you. Shiloh was almost a stranger. You shrugged the feeling off, though. It was a weird twist of fate, but not really anything worth getting upset over. All of you were just breaking out to live your own lives. That's just a part of growing up. Turning to the three of you, Shiloh smiled a little apologetically. You wondered if he was picking up at how in the dark Cove and Liz were feeling. He was perceptive when he wanted to be. Hey, is there anything you want to hear about Jeremy? I can tell you all about him. We should get to know each other better. Don't do that. It'll be okay. Jeremy whined, but Shiloh brushed his complaints off, and he remained happily focused on the rest of you, and Liz seemed to perk up at the conversation shift. Oh, that sounds great. We should get to know Jeremy. So, who wants to, go first? Despite being eager, it was obvious that Liz didn't have any ideas herself, so Jeremy just let out a very long sigh. Do you have any hobbies? Reading and crafty handiwork type stuff. Oh, and archery. Jeremy's actually really talented. Hold up. Is it bad that I kind of want to see Jeremy as a Fire Emblem character all of a sudden? Broody, snarky sniper. And Varky cross on a scale of 1 to taste the rainbow, motherfucker. How gay are you feeling today? Solid 5. Just kind of vibing. Ne, Oni-chan. Aishiteru yo, Oni-chan. Seriously? Hey, that's really cool. Jeremy scoffed at the compliments, and he clearly wanted to move on from the conversation. So, what happened at the amusement park? Actually, I actually don't know. I can only think of one time when we were both there. I'm not sure what part he's talking about. As far as I could tell, I didn't do anything to upset him. And I know he didn't do anything to me. That's what you're going with, Shiloh. Jeremy, what happened? Solid right? Looks gay as fuck, all flavor inside. The flavor is Genshin. Look, I'm not gonna tell you. It's humiliating. And Shiloh knows I'm not gonna say anything, which is why he won't explain it either. For several moments, everyone stared at Shiloh and Jeremy with confusion. Shiloh had a similar look on his face before averting his eyes. Sorry, I can't help you with this one, Garnet. So what happened at the bowl cut and glasses? He had a bowl cut? That sent Shiloh into a fit of laughter, while Jeremy shook his head disapprovingly. Though, through chuckles, Shiloh continued with his best guess.
Right.
His mom and dad probably decided that back then, and now he picked, or they developed new taste over the years. As for his glasses, Jeremy wears contacts at school when he's out and about, but he still wears glasses when he's home or working part-time at his parents' hobby shop. Oh, his parents run a hobby shop. That's pog. That's cool. Siblings? Nope. Jeremy's an only child. He doesn't have any pets either. Although, Pran spends almost no time with his own family, and a lot with Jeremy's. It's kind of like a sibling relationship, I think. Don't bring Pran into this awful thing. Okay. What's your full name? Jeremy Marion King. Isn't that neat? Of course his last name is King. Why do you even want to know that? What? You planning on stealing my identity? That got a laugh out of you, and Jeremy sighed. You can have it. Okay. How tall is he? 5'5". He's kind of short. Yo, a short kid. Oh my god, it's just Zhao. He's just Zhao, bruh. He's legitimately just Zhao. He's an inch taller than Zhao. That's what I've been saying. Doing well in school? Yeah, Nate's still doing his best, but Jeremy gets respectable scores. Or, unless by mean doing well, you mean to ask if he's having a good time or making friends, and no, he's not. You weren't sure how to respond to that at all. Glancing back at Jeremy, he rolled his eyes. When's your birthday? May 4th. He's a Taurus. Jeremy refused to comment on that, instead rolled his eyes. What are his parents like? Oh, they're nice and optimistic. They work really hard, but they can be, smothering, sort of, and usually embarrass Jeremy. Jeremy seemed unenthused by Shiloh's answer. Are you single? That had Shiloh giggling. He smiled down at the screen. Oh, Jeremy isn't in anything official, but he does have someone he goes on dates from time to time. You call that dating? I call it punishment for all my wrongdoings in this life. Oh my god! Punishment for all my wrongdoings in this life. Lament! It's just Xiao! Boring! and Yahoo, welcome to the stream. How you doing today, cutie? Welcome. Cove scrunched his face and glanced at you as if he wasn't sure he heard Jeremy correctly, and Shallow smiled understandingly. It's complicated. She makes him happy against his will. How unfortunate? Shallow started chuckling again. Jeremy, on the other hand, let out a loud sigh, clearly done with the current topic. I'm alright, hope you're well. Hell yeah, baby. Mwah. What? Why?
Alright.
Sure. Ignoring Jeremy again, Shallow immediately started listing off the number for you. Jeremy grimaced while you contentedly saved it in your contacts list. And that's everything I can think of. Cool. Thanks for asking. Cove, you got any questions for Jeremy? Stunned, it took Cove a moment to recover from being put on the spot. But ultimately, his eyes shifted from Shiloh, locked onto with Jeremy's. They remained like that long enough as if they could speak telepathically. Alright. Yeah. Got a question. But Shiloh can't answer. Fine, ask me. Let's get it over with. What do you think of me? Even if you don't think I'm tough or something. Do you still feel like I'm stupid and wrong about everything? A crack formed in Jeremy's lackadaisical expression. His barely open eyes lifted a little bit more, but he spoke flatly. My opinion on stuff is basically the least important thing you could ever worry about. It's pointless. Pointless! Well, I'm still asking. So? Cove, right? That's your name? Cove nodded, a tint of pink in his cheeks as he bashfully rubbed his arm. Okay, Cove. You seem like a guy who cares a lot about things that don't matter. It sounds pretty dumb to me. I outgrew that years ago. And being as soft as you act, it's not something that I would ever do, basically. But, you know what the absolute dumbest thing really is? Cove shook his head with creased brows. He then leaned forward just a little bit, as if he couldn't risk not hearing what revelation Jeremy was going to bestow upon him. Making yourself miserable, if you don't have to be. Oh. If you and the rest of the people here have a way to enjoy existence, then you guys should go ahead and do that. Stay gentle and happy, dumb eyebrow guy.
You have my approval, if that's what you wanted.
I hope you all have wonderful lives and suffer as little as possible. Wow. The words tumbled out softly. Cove earnestly amazed by Jeremy's words.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you know what's not going to make you stay happy? What? Talking to a downer like me. So really, you should end this conversation right now, and none of you should ever call me again for the rest of our lives. That sound good? Can I hang up already? Oh, wait, Jeremy, I can't never call you again. Shut up, Shiloh. Unfazed, Shiloh laughed at the tilt of his head. Building something good only up to try undercutting it. That's the Jeremy I know.
Sorry.
The words dripped with sarcasm and was accompanied by a smirk. But it was the first time you ever saw him smile this entire time. Cove piped up meekly, an awkward smile of his own on his face. Well, maybe my opinion is totally skewed because I'm comparing things to how Jeremy used to be. But, I mean, you don't seem that bad. What? Cove needed to look away from Jeremy's painfully sharp eyes to finish his thought.
I mean,
I'd probably be okay with talking to you again. Come on. You can have standards. No. I kind of want to keep talking with Jeremy too. Jeremy groaned loudly at your acceptance of him. Your smile only widened in amusement, and Liz clapped her hands. Wonderful.
Good.
Now that we're all so much closer to this Jeremy kid, I think we can all get along together and be friends. Friends? Jeremy repeated the word like it was a foreign phrase. He genuinely didn't seem to understand. A Pringles guy, hi Spidey. Yahoo, welcome to the stream. Damn, that's an old vid at this point. What's up? How are you? And Ray, welcome back. Anytime talking with Jeremy is not spent time is time not spent talking with Shiloh. Also true. Upgrades, people, upgrades. And Equinox, little fucker, show an iota of attention to Ray because she's back, and it's immediately ooh woo bully me, you little shit, you little fucker. Just fucking remember, cute bitch, little shit. I fucking love you, bitch. And I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. I'm good. I see you're as happy as always. Hell yeah. I redeemed it before she came back. It just took a second. Lies. He stared at Liz incredulously for several moments. Her expression twisted into fresh confusion of her own. That aggressive love isn't my thing. Well then don't redeem bully. I guess. Okay. 3 things. First, I already have one whole friend. That's more than enough. Second, I still don't know who you are. Did you even say your name at any point? And most importantly, third, one of the people in this friendship is Shiloh Fields. He and I aren't gonna be friends. Why not? And I'm like Liz, by the way. Because he's Shiloh. Our relationship is already as good as it's ever going to be. He mercifully leaves me be most of the time, and on the weird occasion where he needs something, I just get it over with. Then he goes away, and I have a modicum of peace. You know how that works, right? You're in it with me. We have the best arrangement possible the way it is. Jeremy looked at Shiloh seriously to back up at the validity of their relationship, but Shiloh shook his head with a laugh. I don't try to hang around too much, but that's because you're shy. You're the only one who thinks that setup is actually a good idea. Sorry. Jeremy turned his face to the side and let out another exaggerated sigh. Cove and Liz both joined in on Shiloh's mirth, Jeremy getting no support.
Sigh.
Of course you say that. Why did I even bother? That's Shiloh's famous memory for you. Hey, you're cringe. Hi, Stinky. Mwah. Hi, Tia. Welcome to the stream. I love you too, bitch. Can I get a shout out for Tia? How you doing, baby? How you doing, cutie? Liz's chuckling stopped. Wait, what does that mean? Shiloh's famous memory. What? Basically, Shiloh annoyingly remembers everything that happens for all of eternity. Oh, he was lying to us, the little shit. At least until some piece of info he has isn't helpful anymore, or he's got some explaining to do, and then magically all of a sudden he doesn't know anything about it. His boldly inconsistent recollection of situations is pretty much a running joke. It's Shiloh's shtick. One of them, anyway. My family has listened to people talk about the Chiefs and Bengals. Chiefs and Bengals? Chiefs and Bengals? Is this football? American football? I read that of Chefs and Bagels. I am not disappointed. I'm disappointed it's not Chefs and Bagels. A scowl dug into Liz's face as Jeremy spoke. Cove lost his smile, seeing a reaction, and Shiloh remained silent with his big childlike eyes locked on your sister. Jeremy began to shrink away from the screen at the changing atmosphere, and he broke eye contact with everyone. I'm guessing he didn't mention that.
No.
No, he, didn't. And he says he forgot something to you. I do recall him, saying a little thing like that. Sorry. But apparently you had the pleasure of meeting Nate, and you know me, and I talked a lot about Pratt and Everett, too. We're all in that unbearable group, and we're all unbearable people. What an amazing coincidence, huh? Well, what we're about is kind of hard to hide. So, I'm gonna go now. I don't want to be the fifth wheel to your own little group. You 3 people, you have a good day, I guess. And Shiloh, I'll see you back at school.
Bye.
Bye. Jeremy promptly ended the call. Just as people began to warm up to him, he accidentally found a new way to ice the mood again. It's Shiloh's fault. Shiloh, why you gotta do this? We believed in you, man. Shiloh, now averting his own gaze, put his phone away and chuckled.
So...
I knew that Jeremy didn't think highly of me, but it's even worse than I thought. That's really sad. Shiloh? Her firm tone immediately brought Shiloh's focus back to her. And once she got his attention, however, Liz's voice became small. When you first met us in the city, did you know who we were? Did you just pretend to not recognize us? The two old friends watched each other for a beat, and ultimately, Shiloh closed his eyes with a lopsided smile. Shiloh's not leaving this chapter alive? Lizzie, you gotta know, I could never really forget you. Liz was speechless, but it wasn't quiet, and Cove couldn't stop himself from shouting out. Oh my god! Were you lying to them? Lying... that's a strong word. I was... improvising. Yep, because that makes way more sense than you not figuring it out. It was weird to think that he was trying to trick you, but the interaction was a lot more understandable that way. Go home, Shiloh. Or go to my house and, like, wait there until we can send you home.
Alright.
Okay. What is the shrimp did that affect, upset everyone? So we met him at the beginning of summer. He's an old childhood friend from 10 years ago. He recognized us immediately and tried to pretend that he didn't know who we were. But we have fond memories of him. He was our friend, he was a childhood friend for like a couple of years. And we recognized him like on the spot. To be fair, half of this is not expecting people to grow up and require different things. But if he recognized us, he shouldn't have pretended like he didn't. Or, at the very least, if that had happened, and he didn't want to associate with us at all, logically, what he should have done was, keep up the act and genuinely have no idea. But he slipped, like, twice when we first met him, making it pretty obvious that he kind of recognized us, even if he made it seem like he didn't recognize fully. And it let us give him benefit of the doubt. But it's hard to, like, yeah, it's hard to completely be like, you know, Shiloh's completely in the wrong, I think, in my opinion. It is an absolute trash thing that he did. But 10 years. As a kid growing up 10 years, it's very easy for you to feel like strangers at the end of that. I can't say I 1000% blame him, but he should have stuck with his guns if that's what he was going to do. He shouldn't have done this, oh, I don't know who you are, and then, oh, but I do remember, and I do want to be friends. He shouldn't have done this back and forth. That's pretty scummy. You can't have your cake and eat it too sometimes. That is true. But, like, no Pringles Award Xbox code for him. With his shoulders dipped and head low, Shiloh obediently left the park alone. After he disappeared up the road, Liz sat her butt down right into the sand with no concern of how dirty her dress might get this time. And Crimson Wind, yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? I'm gonna go after Shiloh. I want to see what happens. Watch Liz. I'll be back.
What?
What? You didn't give him an explanation. Just shot out of the park after Shiloh. Caught up to him on your neighborhood street. And Ray, welcome back home. Mwah. He must have noticed your footsteps because he was standing in the middle of the road, waiting. You couldn't read his expression, and he didn't say anything. I want to talk. He smiled while fiddling with the rim of his hat. We will. Later. Thanks for trying. And that was it. He turned his back on you, continuing his walk of shame. He wanted to wait, like Liz asked, and even after all this time, he listened to her. There was nothing you could do. And you left him there, to rejoin the others at the park. Cove seemed concerned for you when you arrived, but you quickly reassured him when you sat down. He nodded and gave you space by your sister. Well, he wouldn't even talk. It's weird. Happy New Year. Wish you all the best wishes for this year. Happy New Year, Crimson. Mwah. She hadn't moved from where you had first left her. However, your presence caused her to stir. You can let go. We're done. Cove shared an unsure look with you. She wanted to be alone, but this really wasn't the time for that. We're not going anywhere. Accepting that you were just going to be here for this, she let out a groan. And at the same time, Liz pulled the side of her hat down, gripping it tightly in frustration. I, can't believe he pretended he didn't know us. Since when was Shiloh too good to catch up with acquaintances? It's infuriating. Am I an idiot for thinking that we, could talk? You wrapped your arms around her. You wiggled closer, pulled your big sister into a hug from the side, continued to hold on to her even when she didn't let go of her hat. Shiloh lied to us. That's not your fault. Seriously. He's kind of a tool.
Fine.
I know, I shouldn't care. It doesn't matter if one person doesn't want to be my bestie, and he's, not the greatest man on earth. I'll be fine. But I brought him here all the way from the other side of the state, and I didn't even know why he, did any of this. Liz finally removed her hands from the brim of her hat in order to rub out her temples instead. This, blows. Cove snorted some nervous laughter at her unexpected phrasing. She didn't seem to mind it, though. Say the word and I'll just force some answers out of him. Oh, please don't. You'll, go to jail. Fine.
Thank you.
Thanks, baby sister. She squished you tight and rocked you back and forth in a dramatic hug, and you let out a Cove-like squeak. I love you. I love you too. And what's family for? Well, I thought it was for, hogging the phone while growing up, but, this, works. She released you with a shaky, self-impressed laugh. Oh, and thank you too, Cove, for being around. We're gonna officially be family one day, right? She shot him a wry grin and he tensed up, face going red. And he was willing to take her teasing if that made her feel better. Don't mention it. Good. Liz rested her eyes after those last few words, and it eased your heart to see her better. Cove let out a soft sigh of relief. Hey? Cove then brought his face close to yours so he could speak in a whisper.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? I know that Liz was his best friend, but you knew him too. And you were there when he did his whole, pretend improvisation act. I think I'm more, I don't really know how to feel. You hadn't cared before, but your feelings had become somewhat mixed. That makes sense. Feels like he doesn't deserve to be gone for 10 years and just suddenly mess with everyone's emotions. Cove ended up his checkup by reaching over to pat you on the shoulder reassuringly. Your longtime neighborhood group sat together quietly in the sand, just enjoying the feeling of familiarity and support. You weren't entirely sure how much time passed, but you were eventually caught off guard by a soft call in the distance. In unison, the three of you turned your heads towards the sound, and there, standing at the edge of the playground, was Shiloh himself. He waved. You simply waited there. You wanted to give him a chance. You have something to say? What's that? I couldn't hear you from over there. Don't get up on my account. I'll come to you. No. You know he heard what you said. Shiloh approached with easy strides as if he had been welcomed, and you were floored with how much confidence or shamelessness the boy was apparently capable of now. Liz turned her face, refusing to acknowledge what was happening. She might have been trying to think happy thoughts and wish Shiloh's presence away, but that didn't work. When Shiloh arrived, he plopped down in the sand with the rest of you, his legs folded crisscross.
Hi.
Hi. Leave. Seriously, get lost. I will in just a minute. What do you want now? Well, I figured you'd want to talk to me after you had some space, and I ought to let you do that, even if you're gonna yell at me. Liz finally faced him to be free to snap at Shiloh with full force. And why in the world would you think that? Unfazed, Shiloh looked back at her softly. You haven't changed that much, Lizzie. You're the one who found me online when I brushed you off earlier this summer. When have you ever preferred leaving something unresolved in the end? You didn't even get a chance to make me explain why I did it. I bet you were dying to do that. Liz ground her teeth, quietly fuming, and Shiloh had called it right, and that did suck for her. Fine, I like bite, so give me your excuses. Well, mostly, it was really bad timing. I could have handled a lot better if I had known that I was going to see you that day, and if there wasn't, a self-appointed hall monitor dutifully watching every move that people made. A hi, good to see you, gotta go was simply too much for your little heart to manage. Of course, the goal was to keep as much distance as possible. Admitting I was the guy you knew wouldn't have been helpful. So you can't stand us, and me trying to reconnect was a huge pain for you after all. Wonderful, amazing, thank you so much for saying so. No, that's not it. Don't feel bad, though. You're almost never wrong. Your older sister's brows twitched as she stared at Shiloh in tired disbelief, and he smiled back at her brightly. I did it so that this wouldn't happen. What? I dealt with that situation the way I always do, by saying stuff I didn't exactly mean because it was easier that way. You know, you heard Jeremy. It's like what I'm known for. And ne. Oyasumi, Oni-chan, get plenty of rest. Sure, right now you're mad that I pretended to not remember you. But if I hadn't done that, it would have been something else later, and we'd have still ended up here. Liz's anger became more and more difficult for her to maintain, and it was soon replaced by a sad confusion. Then, don't do that. Don't be like that. Why be someone you're not actually okay showing me? Shiloh chuckled uncomfortably and searched for a way to explain himself to his former idol. I wouldn't have made you sad if I could have avoided it. I mean that. I just... I thought I could finish this visit without issues. Jeremy wasn't someone I expected to call me out. That's pointless to him, usually. But I'm not gonna be someone whose personality revolves around making you happy. No matter how much I follow others, it wasn't for them. Every decision was mine. I couldn't be in charge. Being a sidekick was the best option, was something I did for my sake. I chose to let people be the boss when it's what I need, and I chose where to stop it. And the best I can do for you now is to spare you from dealing with it. I'm not as earnest as you are. I'm not as nice as you are. I was always like that, you know? Even as a kid. Back then, I just wanted to fit in. Even if it meant excluding someone else, if they were the odd one out, that meant I wasn't. Finding my place here got harder when Ko moved in. It was a good thing for everybody that I ended up moving myself soon after that. Huh, I knew it. I was sure you were being honest back then. At least I'm admitting it now. I knew that's essentially how you were back then. You were a scaredy cat who wanted someone to defend you.
Jeez!
I simply imagined that in the past 10 years you grew out of that and learned how to speak to others like, I don't know, an actual grown-up human being. Well, in my defense, I'm not an adult yet. I won't even be 18 until after later this year in October. October 30th. You remembered. So did you, punk. Shiloh chuckled self-consciously as Liz smirked at him. There was a bit of an affable moment before she became serious again. I liked you when we were kids, but I wanted to know you now. That's what, upset me the most. The idea that maybe you only wanted to be rid of your old friends.
Aww.
Aw, Lizzie. Nah, you're just too good to need someone like me in your life. That's the truth. I'm not worth the effort. Except with unusual people who have odd taste. Then she straightened up in the sand, brushing her dress back out. That is such like an incredibly annoying thing to say. It's insane. You've like only changed in stupid ways and stayed the same for the rest. That's fair. Is it? It means maybe I like have unusual taste. You could have stuffed Shiloh's entire hat into his mouth with how wide he opened it. Really? Well, as much as like a mother hen being compelled to look after their chick, no matter how useless they are, is unusual. I like can't help it. You haven't changed all that much either. You're still Shiloh. You're like painfully still Shiloh.
You're welcome.
I brought you here, and I'm not like gonna abandon you. It has to be someone's job to look out for and like keep an eye on you. With the surety returning, she pulled herself up off the ground and glowered down at Shiloh with her arms folded. Now, I do like want an apology for everything done behind our backs when you could have just opened up with all that you wanted to just say. You should have given us a real chance or stayed home. This stunt was like rude. To me, to Garnet, to Cove, too. As if bringing the baby chick comparison to life, Shiloh dutifully did as he was told.
Sorry.
Sorry, Lizzie, Garnet, Cove, everyone. I didn't want to cause problems or ruin the day. Oh, this is so not in theme with the moment, but ara, mama, o kawaii koto, kawaii da yo, Pokash-kun, kawaii da yo, ara. And you don't have to accept just because I'm saying it. Like, look, not everyone needs to be to like everyone. All right then. I mean, you were kind of mean sometimes when we were kids, but I wasn't very nice to you either. And all this recent stuff isn't something to make about me. I'm not gonna hold you to it. I mean, as long as you're not gonna keep, upsetting people from now on. Thanks, Cove. I'll avoid doing that in the future. Then he changed his focus to you. His expression curious. He wanted to know where your feelings landed on this. On him. Were you pretending to have a good time with us today? No! It really was just great coming back to the old neighborhood to see you three. I only guessed it would end badly, so I tried not to get into the situation in the first place. I gotta pour myself some water, sorry. Garnet, do you want to say for what's left of the evening? You don't have to. As you got to your feet, you thought about it. You did. That was reason for it. Well, it's not as if I was that surprised. Stretching your arms over your head, you glanced at them. Despite how the things Shiloh admitted made some stuff awkward, you didn't really have an intention of going anywhere else. I don't like Shiloh. I don't. But he's a dumb 17-year-old kid making winning dumb 17-year-old prizes, thinking that he's doing a good thing, despite the fact that he's really not. People make mistakes as kids. I think he at least deserves to have a chance to rectify it. I'll allow it. Of course, this is like final strike territory. Ow! Shiloh jumped to his feet, straightening his cap on the landing. Lynn would be so proud. You didn't all leave. Wait, Lynn? Who's Lynn? Who's Lynn? Cove rose as well, but with a groan. Another group mate?
Nope.
Nope. He's our group supervisor. He's also friends with my mom. And if you guys were still wondering, the group is actually for people who have difficult to deal with attitudes. Jeremy and Nate being in it makes a lot of sense. Shiloh simply spoke simply and finished his thought with a breezy shrug. Liz sighed loudly, and she smiled ruefully at him. Gee, Shiloh, you've certainly made yourself other people's problems since leaving. Well, now you all know me better too. Thanks for sharing. A small smirk appeared on her face as she watched Shiloh. You didn't fail to notice the hint of sarcasm in her voice. And, like, thanks, Garnet. Accompanied by a warm smile, Liz's tone was sincere. I can keep hanging out with everyone too. Sheepish, Cove rubbed his arm, and Liz's smile stretched into a grin at that news. Thanks for sticking around. Well then, like, what now? The four of you stared at each other in silence, until Shiloh tentatively made a suggestion. Anyone want to build a sandcastle? Well, that sounds ideal. Your oldest sister began truly to relaxing again, and you were glad to see it. Glancing at Cove, he nodded in agreement alongside Liz. Yeah, sure, I like that idea. It had been a long time since you last built a sandcastle together, and you were already looking forward to burying your feet in the sand. Then we're all like agreed. Come on, gang, let's go play at the beach. The sun was far across the sky when the four of you trailed down from the park to the shore in comfortable silence. It was hard not to think about how familiar it all felt. You never thought that the four of you again would just be here together. And it wasn't long before you were sitting on the wet ground, busily pushing as much sand as possible together into a lump. You all worked together, but every so often a chuckle would drift through because of the castle's lopsided development. At one point, Cove stretched out his legs completely, and the incoming waves started reaching his toes. He was initially caught off guard and almost jumped into the castle, but ultimately didn't resist the water. And Kershaw, yahoo! Welcome to the stream, cutie. Mwah. How you doing today? Welcome, welcome. And after that, the group worked with purpose to finish what the ocean could tear it before the ocean could tear it all down. Even though Liz ended up taking time to be particular about the castle's rudimentary design, Shiloh, of course, backed up all of our plans. Cove was a dissenting voice, wanted to keep things more laid back, and things got more boisterous. Being there and doing this with Cove, Liz, and Shiloh felt weirdly different, yet also weirdly the same. So, what happened with the amusement park? You were pretending to not know, weren't you? Both you and your sister glanced at Shiloh, silently re-asking the question. Under the weight of all three of you taking a turn to ask about it, Shiloh finally gave in. I might have an idea of what he meant. So, the thing is, there's someone we're both familiar with, and she asked Jeremy to the amusement park one time. He accepted, but just complained about it, so I suggested that maybe me and her should go together. Jeremy also agreed that it'd be more fun to walk along the park with me. That's what he said when he meant he was on my side. She still went with him, and now Jeremy's embarrassed to admit not that he was turned down, but that he was the preferred option then. It's hard to believe. Anyway, Jeremy could think that I'm mad as I got passed over, but it doesn't matter if she said yes or no. All that counts is that she knows I'm totally there if she needs it, and she does. Uh-huh. Sure, Shiloh, you're so reliable. I know, right? Okay. Thanks for telling us.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Smiling to yourself, you watched as the three of them absorbed the moment. It was nice. And you hoped everyone else was having just as much fun. It was sort of incredible that you were able to have another evening like this in your life. And the feeling of odd serendipity wasn't only with Shiloh. You had also gotten a sort of closure with the old villain of that one summer long ago. Just like old times, the four of you stayed on the beach until night fell and the moon was high in the sky. Then the time had come to say goodbye. Shiloh needed to get back to his mom and back to where his life truly was now. And before leaving the beach, Shiloh pulled you aside and gave you his phone number just in case you wanted to keep in touch. Liz already had it, though he wanted to give it to you personally. You weren't expecting that, but it was comfortable to know that this didn't have to be a permanent goodbye. The four of you walked up to the neighborhood streets as one, tired smiles covering the familiar faces around you. The wind gently blew by, sand dragged behind you, and a hard-to-grasp feeling of contentment carried you to the end of the road. It was a good night. After that, Shallow disappeared from Sunset Bird once again. Though this time, it wasn't heartbreaking or hard to understand. This time, it was just another part of life. And helped that Liz had her own phone and laptop, could easily check up on it from time to time. That was nice too. That was goody. Alright, so happiness and drive. So I'm gonna do reflection next, and then we'll go Talk's happiness drive. One more DLC. After finishing breakfast at the Holden's house, you and Cove had retreated to his room and relaxed before starting the day in earnest. Or perhaps you would just take it easy the whole afternoon. Neither of you had plans exactly, so you were kind of free to do whatever came to mind. You were lazing about in Cove's bed. So cozy there you had to fall off the urge to fall back asleep. And Space Blizzard, yahoo! Welcome to the stream. How you doing, cutie? In 3 minutes it'll be my birthday too now. Ooh, nice. The moment it hits your birthday, tell me. I will sing you happy birthday. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. Yo, fellow January birth month. Let's go. Cove lounged in a similarly eased manner. He had his phone open and was idly scrolling through something on it as you enjoyed one another's presence nearby. A burst of laughter broke the silence, hooking your attention and bringing you back to the present. You looked at Cove for an explanation. His eyes, now crinkled with mirth, were still locked to his screen. What's so funny? He finally looked up at you, smirking. Dad scanned some old photos, you know. He drew a rectangle in the air with the phone free hand. Printed out once, back when I was little. He texted it all to me last night. I guess I've been checking them out. Wait, you were looking at kitty photos and didn't tell me? Cove narrowed his eyes, smile still bent. I was gonna show you. I just want to make sure that there was nothing super embarrassing. You never know with my dad. He grimaced, envisaging what horrors his dad might unwittingly spring on him.
I mean,
like, what if there's a photo of me getting potty trained or something? Kid pictures is supposed to be embarrassing. That's part of the fun. He was holding out on you, but the protest was of no use. And, happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Space Blizzard. Mwah. Happy birthday to you. Mwah. Congratulations on your cake day, little cutie. Mwah. Cove only cleared his throat nervously, the fear of his dad's well-meaning actions still looming large in his mind. Anyway, before we forget, I was laughing because, I came across a Halloween one time when I was 8, the year I was a zombie, remember? He shook his head, grinning wryly, holding the phone out to you. I never even liked zombies. All I wanted to do was show off my new scar. It just needed to be something scary. I couldn't be a normal person who had a scar, according to my 8-year-old mind. I was a little dork.
right?
Dad really wanted to be useful, as usual. He came up with the idea of being an undead person. It was pretty good, huh? I remember you getting a lot of extra candy when the adults realized that the scar was real. Must have been your greatest Halloween haul ever. Cove chuckled at your reply. I can't believe how much larger my scar used to be. He looked down at his arm, a soft smile on his face, and traced the remainder of the jagged line with his fingers as you've seen him do countless times. His voice was playful when he spoke again. Look how tiny it is now. How am I going to pretend to be tough without a big scar? It's a definite blow to your street cred. You don't have to say it, even if it's true. Cove smiled bashfully, pleased with his joke, and ducked his head to look away from you, fingers still tracing the scarred patch of skin. I really do like having this, even if it's kind of little these days. His voice was shy, as if he was letting you in on a big secret. Cove turned his back to face you fully, finally letting go of his scar. He was happy. That mark was a part of him, and held meaning for Cove. Reaching over, you laid a reassuring hand on his arm where the scar was. You cupped his arm with your fingers carefully as your thumb ran down the outline of the scar. Alongside the rougher tissue of the scar, you could feel goosebumps on his arm. Cove let out a choked breath, a dizzied smile playing out on his face. It was evident that he liked the feeling. You stopped there, bringing your hand to rest on your burning cheeks. They were lifted in a smile that you couldn't quite repress. Your eyes drifted back to the scar in Cove's arm. The scar had been there as long as you'd known Cove, though when you'd first met, it had been concealed in that neon pink cast.
So?
Do you want to hear how it happened? How it was hurt? You were initially stunned that he guessed what you were thinking, though, given the topic of conversation and the direction of your gaze, it was a natural conclusion to reach. Not bothered by your reaction, Cove continued with a shrug. I don't mind telling you. Actually, it's nothing special. He rubbed the back of his neck, grinning a little sheepishly. Mostly, it's just really dumb. You nodded. That was something that you'd like to hear more about, especially knowing that no real lasting harm had come out of it. Cove stared into the distance, lips parted as he readied the story in his mind. So, me, my dad, and my mom were at a party. I don't know if it was a casual get-together or a specific celebration. I hope it wasn't for something meaningful, considering how, I ended it. He winced, then managed a bashful smile. Anyway, my mom and dad were out doing stuff, talking to people, I guess. I was left with all the other non-adults. Most of them were older than I was. Maybe all of them were? His brow furrowed as he tried to recall some dusty memories, and then he shrugged again and continued. The older kids were taking turns with the jet skis, and they weren't enough for everyone to ride at once. So, in between turns, they were hanging out on the shore. I was meant to just sit there with them and watch. Remember when you first met Cove, you bet that he hadn't been satisfied with that arrangement. He confirmed that suspicion. I was pretty unhappy. It wasn't a party for me. Not when all I could do was look at other people have fun when I couldn't. The teens must have realized that, though I never hid that what I was pouting as a kid. Only when you were a kid? Cove bristled in embarrassment. It looked a little sulky to you. Come on. Let me finish the story. Alright. Cove sighed, letting go of the interruption and picking up where you left off.
Well,
basically, someone offered to let me ride. I was way too small to drive myself, but this older kid, must have been like 16, they said I could sit in front of them while they controlled the jet ski. I knew I wasn't supposed to do anything like that. Still, I figured my parents were doing what they wanted, so I couldn't die. I nodded at the person. I remember the other teens helping me onto the jet ski. Alongside the one driving, we sped off into the water. Cove smiled, widely, wistfully. It was amazing at first. My hair was flying everywhere as we zoomed away from the shore. I loved being out of the water like that. Too bad that turns out steering a jet ski with an 8-year-old sat on your lap is a lot harder than a bunch of kids figured it'd be. The team tried their best, but they couldn't keep control for long. We got spun around and, well, we went right into the sand. You sucked in a deep breath. The other person wasn't hurt. Thankfully, they held onto the bars and stayed in their seat. I didn't. I must have been thrown at full speed into a rocky part of the shore near the dock. I must have tried to brace for impact or catch myself, because my arm's what I mostly landed on. He looked at the limb in question, and you could see him visualizing the long-healed injury. It was pretty torn up. After that, it was hazy for me. I got taken to the hospital. I didn't really feel a lot of pain when it first happened. All I remember thinking about was how it was covered in sand and the grains were uncomfortable. The sand was uncomfortable? Cove chuckled. I can't believe Cove grew up faster than me. Damn, 5-year anime time skips. Cove chuckled. I know, right? I did start feeling my arm later. It definitely hurt eventually. The doctor said my arm was broken, alongside being torn open. And Anusta, I'd like to stay longer, but I need to sleep. Have a good stream. Good night, Anusta. Mwah. Thank you for stopping by. You get plenty of rest. We'll see you later, okay? Mwah. He smiled nostalgically. That color just seemed nice and happy at the time. It brightened the mood, so I picked it. The smile faded, finished his story with a sigh, eyes downcast. I feel bad I did any of that. I hope whoever the teen was, they weren't traumatized by seeing a little kid go flying to the ground. They were just trying to do a nice thing. Cove threw his arms out to the side dramatically. I wish I knew who they were so I could just give them a call and say I'm still in one piece. But yeah, that's the full story. I'm just glad that you were both okay in the long run. That's the important thing. Cove sighed again, the regret written plainly on his face. It was a failure. That's just the truth. He smiled flatly. But to my credit, I think I've grown up a lot since then. Wait. Cove's eyes went completely wide, suddenly reinvigorated. He seized his phone, tapped away at the screen. What's up? I knew it. You weren't sure that he'd heard you, but he set his phone down and turned directly to face you. His face was resolute, though the glow of the screen was no longer reflected in his eyes. They seemed to sparkle even brighter than before. Garnet, we're adults. We can decide things for ourselves now. I like where this is headed. The age requirement to rent a jet ski in California is 18. We can totally do it. Let's use our adult powers for a jet skiing adventure. Cove beamed, pumping into the air with both fists. Definitely the action of someone mature enough to rent a vehicle. All right. With the moment, Cove had recovered and returned to his serious expression from before. Look, I'll be careful, and I really want for you to be there when I try again. Please. His voice was soft and earnest. You could tell how much the request meant to him. You also knew him long enough to know that he wasn't exactly going to give up on this idea, so letting him go on his own wasn't an option. Of course I'll be there. I wouldn't miss it. I'm actually really interested in trying jet skiing. Cole perked up at once, a grin stretched out across his white face. He was practically bouncing in place. Let's go! You got up and worked together as a team together, everything you need for the trip. Cove's other aquatic hobbies came in handy. He was quickly kitted out with everything you need other than the jet skis themselves. You needed to run back home briefly, having dressed and prepared for a day that didn't involve jet skiing, but soon enough you were both ready and jumping into Cove's car. And as soon as you got in, learned that Cove had used that brief time apart to locate a rental store on his phone. You caught his eye as you clicked your seatbelt into place. Excited, you held out a hand, and Cove slapped it with a high five before setting off. You and Cove arrived, the ocean perfectly inviting today. The deep blue of the water glittering under the clear sun while the tide rolled in and out at its leisure. Oh, I am so excited for this. His excitement was pretty adorable. Seeing how pleased you were, Cove grinned at you.
Hey.
Oh, hey, want to say hi to my dad while we're out here? I already texted him and my mom about the plan. He's working right now. You remember how close the shop was? It wouldn't take long even by walking. Yeah, sure, we can do that. Mr. Holden was a verified stunner. You were happy to check him out while Cove checked in.
Sorry.
Thanks. It might be kind of awkward when he hears what you're here for, but that should be alright. I mean, my parents forgave me a long time ago for that amazing stunt. I don't want to be scared off jet skiing my whole life because of it. You wondered which of you Cove was attempting to reassure. It was only a short walk back to the dock as Mr. Holden's scuba shop. Cove breezed in, familiar with the store as if it was his own home. It is a really nice family bonding moment so far. Or I assume it will be. The place was quiet, empty aside from a couple of customers quietly browsing, and Cove's dad behind the counter. Mr. Holden just looked up, friendly expression spreading to a grin when he saw who entered.
Hey!
Hey, Garden! Hey, sport! What brings you all the way out here? He cast an eye at the way the two of you were dressed. Judging by how you're decked out, I'm guessing scuba diving. There's plenty here for that, so what can I help you with? Daddy, sorry. Cove chuckled, amused by how quickly his dad seized on a favorite topic. Or maybe it was how his dad always fell over himself trying to be useful. Dad, we're not doing that this time. We sort of decided to go rent a couple of jet skis. The phrase jet skis had Mr. Holden's mouth in a taut line immediately. Jet skis. He echoed the word as his eyes instinctively darted to the scar on Cove's arm. That's when... Mr. Holden started to speak several times, each attempt quickly abandoned. Cove smiled encouragingly, trying to not add to his father's worries.
Don't worry about it.
I promise I'll be careful. And Garnet will be there too. We always look out for each other. Mr. Holden pinched his face back into an unconvincing smile.
Right.
Alright, you're a whole lot bigger now than you were back then. Heck, you can drive a car and everything. I'm sure you and Garnet will have plenty of fun. The words still echoed out in his voice, barely concealed by the positive words, but Cove was buoyed by his father's support. Yeah, well, we're all set. We only stopped by to say hi, to let you know, since we're over here. Mr. Holden beamed, obviously moved by his son's simple consideration. Haha, you're so thoughtful. Thanks for taking the time. Dad, you don't need to thank me for that. Mr. Holden simply laughed at his son's response. It'd be great if you could just keep me in the loop when you're out there, too. Just, you know, text me to let me know if it's going well or anything. I will. His dad smiled more easily.
Great.
Great. Cove rubbed at his arm, causing Mr. Holden's eyes to momentarily twitch back to the childhood injury.
Bye.
We're gonna head out. See you later. Take care. See you, Mr. Holden. Mr. Holden waved you off as you left the store. The pair of you headed back to the docks, walking side by side. After your feet hit the boards, Cove's pace fell. Glancing over, you saw him looking down, out over the water. That wouldn't have been unusual if his expression hadn't been so somber. He wasn't geared up with anticipation or even nervousness, but with an uncharacteristic lethargy. There was something weighing heavily on his mind. Cove? Huh? He blinked, startled by you interrupting his ruminations.
Sorry.
No, sorry. He sighed. Though you'd torn his attention from the ocean, it gradually drifted back to the water. Cleared your throat, unwilling to lose him again. Sorry. Again. He put his hands to his face, rubbing his eyes warily. Here I go, thinking everything's resolved with what happened, and we can have fun, but I can't just enjoy anything. I have to find something else to get stuck in my head. You're having second thoughts about jet skiing?
No.
No, that's not it. The ends of his lips were drawn into the beginning of a frown, like gray clouds clustering to the signal of a coming storm. I figured my dad would be a little worried about me doing it, but what he was saying wasn't what I expected. He was just so sad. I was more than a little nervous. Taking every bit of restraint to not say the thing. Hi, Midnight. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a goody day. How are you, baby? How are you? Look. Me too. Ray beat me to it. Fuck. I held myself back. I did the thing, alright? You and I were upholding the same ends of this bargain, okay? I think he feels bad, and now I feel bad. Also, Cross, guess what? What's up? But it isn't if I'm the only one who ever does something stupid or gets hurt. It got me thinking about that whole time. And that's when I realized. It wasn't too long after that accident. My parents separated. Hadn't you noticed that before? Well, I kinda did. But not exactly the way I'm seeing it now. It's my birthday, I'm officially 18. Yo! Let's go! Wait, it's your birthday today? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Midnight. Happy birthday to you. Mwah. Let's go. Let's go. It's actually Space Blizzard's birthday today as well. As a kid, I didn't really think about the consequences of my actions, you know? Or at least, or how what I did impacted other people. Like, why should anyone care? I'm the one doing it, not them. It made no sense. I still cared when other people did things I didn't like, but I was 8. I'm mostly just mad that nothing I felt was in my control. You could tell that he was building up to something, so you just nodded for him to continue. That was pretty difficult to deal with because of that attitude. But looking back, I think that's what saved me from something a lot of kids go through. Blaming themselves for their parents' divorce. It just never crossed my mind that anything I did made a difference on my mom and dad's relationship. That they would do what they did no matter what. Now, though, I guess it's kind of hard to ignore the thought, huh?
I mean,
their situation was already so hard, and I wasn't a good kid, so Also, Cross, our struggles are not equal. I say the thing, I can get banned. You say the thing, what the fuck can I do about it? Look, I'll be better, okay? I'll be better about it, alright? I promise you. Baba Booey. I promise. Alright? I'm 18 too. I didn't want to say it first because I'm technically breaking the Discord rule. Teehee. Hey. It's alright. You're 18 now. I can't control the past, alright? I forgive you for the past. I'm calling bullshit. Look. I forgive you for the past, okay? Alright, let's look for the future, okay? Look towards the future. It's all good. He left his words adrift as he looked down. What's the thing that lets you stream the PS4? I have an Elgato capture card. Although there are other capture cards that will do just fine. Although if you get something too cheap, expect definite loss of quality. Capture card. But only for a second. Cove pulled himself up to his full height, his chin held aloft. Whatever he decided, he was resolute. Space and midnight gaps were in space and time. I would avoid talking about the 18 thing. Yeah, no, like we're brushing past it. No worries. I'm going back. I gotta talk to my dad. I'm not gonna let things be like before when I just feel crappy or refuse to tell him what's going on. That doesn't work for either of us. You can go ahead if you want. I won't mind. I still really want to do this, and I'm sure it'll be okay. I'll stay. There's no way you're going off on your own. We always look out for each other, remember? Cove smiled gently, having wanted that deep down. Thanks. Let's go. I'm gonna play me some more Skyrim. Hell yeah, Ray Ray. You and Cove retook your steps down to the docks once more, heading back to Mr. Holden's scuba shop. Do you have any of the DLC? Because Dragonborn, as well as Dawnguard are really good. Although you kind of want to have your fun with the base game before you get around to the DLCs. They're actually genuinely good. Hearthfire, don't get Hearthfire. It's pretty pointless. It's just, hey, do you want to build a house that's kind of crap and mods do things better? The customers you spotted there were now leaving the store. Hearthfire is fun in its old way. Yeah, I mean, no matter how you cut it, mods do Hearthfire's job better than Hearthfire. It's kind of... I don't know. I feel like Hearthfire is kind of disappointing compared to the other two. And like, if you like building up your own house, sure, that's kind of cool, but it also kind of asks for a exuberant amount of materials. Which makes sense from like a logistical standpoint, but from a gameplay standpoint, can be kind of boring. Yeah, Hearthfires make the gold hit him with the, haha, I'm in danger. Yep. Also that. It's really only meant for like endgame players. But they kind of like borderline force it upon you. So, you hope that this would mean that Cove could have his conversation without a public audience. And this time, Cove strode into the shop with purpose, and Mr. Holden, grinning at the counter, glanced up to greet whoever come inside, and he grinned as you approached.
How's it going?
Hello again. Forget something? Sort of. Cove reached the counter now, and you need to rush just to keep up with him as he crossed the show floor. Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow, taking Cove's shift in attitude, and chose the next words with care. Is everything alright? Cove swallowed, not answering initially. Talking openly with his dad was still something new for the son, and you knew that he was struggling with the right way to begin. I wanted to ask about what happened. Mr. Holden winced as if the words had struck him physically. The accident? No, the divorce. The pained expression fell from Mr. Holden's face. Wide-eyed, his jaw slack, he gaped at Cove.
Huh?
Why? Cove glanced over his shoulder at you, and as your eyes met him, you saw him draw confidence by having you at his side, and he turned back to his father. I just want to know the truth. His tone was grave. Did me getting to the accident hurt your marriage? If I hadn't done it, would you and Mom have gotten along better? Oh, no. Hell no. Mr. Holden quashed the suggestion with a gravity you'd rarely heard with his voice. You were 8 years old. You're not responsible in any way. Look, Kyra and I, we should have protected you. Anyways, across the next stream, reading off the lusty Argonian maid without laughing? Bruh. I find it hilarious that Cassius Creed, the guy who wrote the lusty Argonian maid, also wrote a book called The Three-Legged Guar, which are bipedal lizards, and you can meet him in the prequel game Morrowind. Where I just find that fascinating for some reason. Look, I can understand why you're feeling that. What happened, it was so horrible. How could it not have an impact? I mean, it did. But it was a reflection of us as parents. The relationship between just your mom and me was separate. It was already kind of unsalvageable. Cove turned his away, his brow still furrowed as he looked at the floor. Maybe I'm being anxious and it's taking over, but it wasn't just then. I kind of, like, I always cause problems. He plowed on, unwilling to give up without explaining his worries. What if I had been easier to raise, or if you had me later on, if you didn't have me at all, or it might have been better for the two of you. If I didn't have you, what good would my life be? Mr. Holden didn't let the words hang unchallenged in the air for even a second. He hurried over to Cove, taking his son's arms in his hands. Cove, listen. There's only one person to blame for things not working, and that's me. Cove opened his mouth to speak, but Mr. Holden forced on, determined to erase any question in Cove's mind. Look, I'm not saying this to dishonestly push accountability off from something else or throw a pity party for myself. You want to know the truth. This is what I'm giving you. Your father is the reason our family couldn't stay together. You think you caused trouble? You should have seen me at your age. You're such a good kid. Honestly, I can hardly believe how good you are. Mr. Holden's eyes were misty as he squeezed his son's arms. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, you need to blame yourself for. I'm sorry, Cove. To you and to Kyra. Mom? It's gonna be random as shit, but I don't see Cove with that hair. I only see Minty Changyun! Changyun alter. Yeah, your mom. His pained face eased slightly into a bittersweet smile. Kyra, she was just so smart and driven and completely bursting with life. It was as if she could do anything. You know, there wasn't a single solitary person who didn't want even a piece of her attention, just to catch her eye for a moment. But for some crazy reason, she had a soft spot for my 17-year-old screw-up self. That's when we first met. Though it definitely took me some time before I managed to ask her out on a date. Mr. Holden shook his head, that smile melting as he recollected and became solemn once more. Then we'd only been officially together for about 6 months when we found out we were having a baby. I was so worried, so scared, but she was brave. She was my rock. But we knew that the road ahead was going to be much rockier. When we married, I didn't see it as my dream come true. I wasn't about to start living my life in the only way I could imagine doing so. I thought what happened, and throwing my cards with a girl like her was worth the risk. He grimaced, that sentence sour in his mouth, regretting his past perspective. I'd been just taking care of myself on my own and getting by, and then all of a sudden I was gonna have a wife and child. So I thought, alright, I better step things up and take care of all of us. So that's what I did. Sort of. He rolled his eyes. I made money, I kept a roof over our heads, I put food on the table. But I was just always busy, focused on taking care of things that I didn't stop to consider what anyone else was thinking. What they actually needed. Road so rocky, we called it Dwayne. I made a decision about what I did, and as a result, what happened to the family by myself. I never asked your mom how she felt, or even wondered if she would have an opinion. I'd tell Kyra about the great place I found, and how we'd be moving there in the same breath. Or that I'd spent all of our savings and taken out a loan to start this business we're standing in, and even more nonsense. Anything I felt I needed to do, I did. Kyra didn't even ask where I'd been all day before rolling my eyes like she was being being a nag. I was making sure we didn't starve, obviously, right? Couldn't she trust me? He sighed. His head hung low.
God.
She went to school part-time while raising you. Really knuckling down, but that didn't matter to me back then. She could have spent her days lying in bed, not dying, and I wouldn't have felt the same. I didn't care. I was going to get it all done on my own either way. It's so stupid. I admired her more than anyone else. And there was nothing at stake. Yet when responsibilities were involved, I couldn't let myself rely on her. He combed a hand through his hair, searching for an understanding of his own younger self. I intend to shitpost about this game because I know nothing about it. I'm not even sure why. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I had something to prove. Maybe I'm the one who didn't trust her in the end. So it's like a visual novel where you grow up alongside Cove, a childhood friend that can or cannot become a love interest of your choice. Obviously I'm choosing love interest. And things unfold around your family as well as Cove's family, and you're just along for the ride, making the best of things. Poor Kyra. She had to spend every day mentally weighing the pros and cons of putting up with my horrible ideas for the sake of peace, or trying to explain to my blockheaded self what I was doing was wrong. You don't say space? I thought it was a clone of Halo Infinite, bruh. It must have been so stressful. Frustrating. Damn, Master Chief looks good out of armor, huh? Constantly having to let everything go because I was stubborn and absolutely would make a fight out of it. He snorted bitterly. I was definitely stuck in my head a lot those days. Our relationship at that point was made of arguments and cool tolerance. But still, I genuinely didn't see the divorce coming. We made it through the first few years, and after that I never really considered it ending. It was just how life was. In retrospect, it was clear that Kyra kept thinking on it more every year. Especially since she managed to finish her journalism degree, and with us being more stable. Financially, that is. We know Master Chief's a fanboy under all that armor. She thought of everything. She even timed it right when your school ended for the year, so the process would hopefully be all settled before you had to worry about class again. We were already talking about it before the accident ever happened. I know I took it really hard, being a sad sack all around the neighborhood, but even that's unfair of me. When I shook it out, I'm the one who got everything. Kai didn't want to leave you, Cove. She never would have. I'm certain she felt that she had no choice but to end the relationship. The business was doing really well then. I had an easier time making a living. She was between jobs, and when she did get a new job, it meant that she'd be traveling all the time. That's why she accepted me having full custody. She didn't get to be there with her child for so many moments. And you had to spend half your life growing up without your mother, and that's my fault. Mr. Holden closed his eyes briefly as he took a breath. So that's it. The story of Cliff and Kyra's marriage. Not exactly a fairy tale, but I want to be clear. You saw his grip on Cove's arms tighten. No matter what happened with me and her, I never, ever want to miss out on being your dad. Cove's throat bobbed as he swallowed. His eyes glinted, glossy with tears that had yet to fall. He blinked quickly, trying to hold them back. Thank you for telling me. His voice was hoarse, a little more than a whisper. Mr. Holden brought a hand up to his face and lightly nudged Cove's chin. You're welcome. You're grown up now, right? You deserve the truth. It's the least I could do for you. Cove managed a fragile smile. Thank you for taking care of me. For all of it. Mr. Holden brushed the compliment off with a wave of his hand.
No worries.
It was nothing. Look at where we all ended up. I've got this whole entire store, house, friends here, very thoughtful son. It's all good for me.
I'm so glad.
I'm glad. His voice was still quiet, and he ducked his head shyly after saying these words. Mr. Holden patted him on the back, and you could see the tears in Cove's eyes still shining, threatening to spill over. Mr. Holden put out an arm on his shoulders, gently steering him towards the door. You should go have fun. Make some nice memories. Cove's gaze flickered over to you. The watery smile on his face solidified. Alright. Good. Now out you go. Mr. Holden nudged the two of you out of the shop. You both walked silently as you made your return to the docks. Cove's face was pensive, clearly still digesting everything his dad had said. And he finally sighed, catching your attention. He hesitantly reached for the bag he brought and raised it up.
Garnet.
Garnet, I want to call my mom. I'm not going to leave her out of things, and I just want to know what she thinks about what happened and all of that. He fiddled with the straps of his bag, but it still remained close shut. It's not like I don't trust Dad. It's that I think Mom's thoughts are important too. Oh, I get it, Cove. There's two sides of every story, after all. You both seemed relieved that you understood, and you knew that he didn't want to be a bother with another delay. Thanks. I guess there's no time like the present. Time to ask. With that mini pep talk, he finally opened his bag, found his phone. Cove unlocked it quickly and tapped over to his favorite contacts and called up his mom, put on the phone on speaker as it dialed. Kyra must have had her phone close, because she answered almost immediately.
Cove.
Oh! Yo! Kyra still looks good! Oh, she's beautiful. Cove, this is a pleasant surprise. I thought you'd be getting back to me later. Hey, Mom. He paused for a second and looked at you. Oh, you're on speakerphone with Garnet, too. Hi, I'm here. Oh, hello. I'm popular today. Well, what's going on? Don't keep me in suspense. You a pro jet skier already? Cove chuckled and scratched the back of his head. No, we haven't started yet. Actually, that's something I kind of wanted to ask you about.
Really?
Really? I'm intrigued. Her voice was bright and excited. Cove moved the phone closer to his face so he could speak softly, aware that the tone of his conversation was about to change. Mommy, sorry. I was talking to Dad earlier. It was about your relationship and why you both divorced. Ah. That one syllable had lost all of her earlier energy. Cove tightened his grip on his phone. It does make sense that the past would come up today. Yeah, but he tried to brighten up the mood again. And you weren't exactly used to him being the perky one of the two. You could only imagine what it felt like a strange you could only imagine it felt like a strange role reversal for him. Dad said you were really amazing. That he admired you a lot. What a flatterer. She smiled wistfully, and you could tell that there was some interference. Maybe she had shaken her head. You couldn't exactly tell for sure. Oh, Cliff. He bundled himself through regular, everyday adulting and social situations in astoundingly charming ways. Yet, somehow, at the exact same time, he was an ambitious, slightly shady, under-the-table type of man when it came to making his living in the world. So, essentially, your father was an absolute heartthrob to someone such as myself. Cove and Kyra laughed delicately. The tension was broken to something a bit more lighter, more familiar to the two. It's cool that you both have such nice things to say about each other. Oh, I agree, baby. She took a moment before continuing carefully. Do you have any questions about what happened? Well, I'm not sure. Cove squinted at the phone in his hand as he tried to think, his free hand brushing through his hair. I just kind of wanted to know how you describe what it was like. Could I tell you what Dad said about it?
All right.
I don't think Cliff would mind. Whatever he told you is probably whatever he'd say to me. Alright, go for it. After taking a breath, Cove recapped Cliff's experience, doing his best to follow his dad's story. He went into a surprising amount of detail. Not a single thing was missed. Kyra listened in absolute silence, letting her son talk without interruption. And when Cove finished, he took another deep inhale of air. So, what do you think? Kyra sighed softly. You could heard a clacking sound, like she was drumming her nails on the back of her phone or her countertop. Definitely sounds like Clifford. It's not exactly wrong, but he doesn't have a total picture. He puts the emphasis on the wrong things, I think.
Huh?
What do you mean? For starters, Cliff unsurprisingly downplayed himself more than he had to. He did? Cove's eyebrows raised face continues to inch even closer to the
Wow.
screen. Well, since your dad was so praising of me, it's only fair to return the favor. When Cliff said he was already taking care of himself when he met me, he means he was on his own. Cliff's own parents weren't and still aren't friendly people. They've always had a competitive relationship with him, though him getting to drinking and gambling as a teenager certainly didn't help. He knew they'd kick him out at 18, so he saved them the trouble and left home at 17. He always found a way to make it work, even without support. I met him a few months after that. We actually hit it off right away. He was exactly what I wanted back then. We dated, then about half a year later, bam, you were on the way, Cove. She laughed fondly as Cove clung to every word. I was really optimistic about it all. I couldn't wait to be a mother. I was more than happy that Cliff was the father who'd be along for the ride. We got married quick before you were born. Cliff's recollection of our wedding dynamic is pretty spot on. He was extremely stubborn and, well, immature. Highly, highly immature. Her voice raised slightly, and you got the feeling that she was thinking back to her memories living with him, and she left the specifics unspoken. But it's not like I was all grown up either. Everyone, except maybe Cliff, could see our relationship was no good. At least, not good enough yet to commit to. I knew, but I still... I didn't want to give it up. I wanted to keep the family together. I thought if we divorced or were never together, we'd ruin your life, Cove. Obviously, that wasn't true. I just didn't have enough experience at the time to realize that there wasn't only one option for us. Maybe things would have been easier on you if we had split when you were still a baby, but it took me years to start figuring it all out. Cove nodded, even if his mom couldn't see it, thinking hard about something he was likely remembering his own experiences back then. We were married, but never seriously loved each other. We hardly knew each other. I don't mind that Cliff never viewed marrying me as some kind of dream come true. I honestly just appreciate that he was trying to give my hastily made life plan a shot. I was the one who proposed, after all. Got down on one knee and everything. Well, damn. That's a subversion of gender stereotypes that I'm on board with. She huffed slightly, something between a chuckle and a sigh. It was very funny and a little sad that Cliff still doesn't know why things changed between us. It's obvious to me, and I guess he knows deep down. He just never consciously made the connection.
It's alright.
I'm not even mad that he didn't stay the same towards me. Love makes everything different. But you said... Oh, I know what I said. She interrupted, Magmonique? Yeah, oh, welcome to the street. How you doing, cutie? Mwah. She interrupted before Cove could even finish his blurted out interjection. Oh, I don't mean Cliff and I. We were just two kids in a relationship that only ever worked when it was at its easiest. Then you were born, little Cove James Holden. I loved you immediately. So did your father. Cove was stunned. His eyes started watering as his mouth clamped shut. The inclination that we had towards each other paled in the face of that. Our love to you was the real deal. Cliff was the proudest papa. Then in true Cove fashion, tears began to fall. He stayed silent, but you were pretty sure Kyra knew the effects her words would have on her son. No matter how much time passed, Cliff never got over how amazing it was that such a precious little boy was his. I should have taken pictures of how he'd puff up whenever someone referred to you as his son. She sounded much cheerier now. A slight smile crept up on Cove's face despite his tears. Then again, he still does that now. It wasn't very hard to imagine Mr. Holden lighting up around baby Cove the same way he did with the 18-year-old Cove. Oh, I remember how, when a real argument started brewing, Cliff had a habit of walking away to cool off. He wasn't able to handle it. His son seems to have taken after him in that way. You could hear her chuckle, and Cove looked down, a blush clear on his cheeks. You could feel her smirk through the phone. She breezed over the next section airily. For our whole relationship, he always ended fights by skipping out on me for who knows how long. I don't even think Cliff knew when he'd come back. That stopped when you were born. Cliff stopped running. He was still gone a lot for work, and we still had fights, but he wouldn't leave. Instead, he he would go to your room, Cove. If you were asleep, he'd just sulk on the ground by your crib until you woke up. Sometimes he'd pace the room while holding you, or sit on the floor and rock you. He'd stay with you until one of us decided we were ready to talk again. We didn't exactly have a lot of furniture back then. That's actually part why Cliff was always hanging out on the floor. He really came to embrace it. And when our relationship got bad enough that we didn't want to share a bed anymore, he always made sure that I got to have the mattress. He instead set up a spot in the corner of the nursery just in case you needed anything through the night. He gave you a more private space when you got bigger, but he still always made sure that he could be there for you. There was still no denying whether Cliff understands it or not that he made his choices without prioritizing me. But it wasn't that he suddenly hated me. To Cliff, I was only a wife on paper. In his mind, I was a cool girl he dated and generally liked. Nothing close to being the light of his life. All his blood, sweat, and tears wasn't for himself or me, or even the family unit. They were all completely and totally for his baby. Meanwhile, I was doing the same, though in the opposite way. I did take us being married seriously. I was trying to force us together as a couple so we'd be a complete family for our child. You felt like a fly on the wall of a very personal conversation. Cove didn't seem to notice when you looked over at him. His face was a complicated patchwork of emotions.
I guess.
Eventually, I woke up and saw what I was doing, and I realized it wasn't going to work. Not like that. When I was ready for it, I talked to Cliff about separating and starting up the divorce processes. He was shocked by it, and unfortunately it wasn't too long after when you had your accident, Cove. Izzy, thank you for the host, cutie. Garnet, I don't know how much Cove really told you about it, but when he broke his arm, it terrified all of us. Cove could have died. Even back then, we knew he'd be likely having a permanent scar you have to live with forever. Our parenting hurt our child, and he was the one who would have to carry the repercussions. You were a bit taken aback to be referred to so directly. You still felt a little out of place, and she seemed completely focused on her son. Ignore that. Cove grimaced, and the hand holding his phone shook. Mom. Kyra continued as if she'd never paused. It was heartbreaking. Then on top of it, we had to put you through your parents breaking up. Taking that back wasn't an option, despite the timing. Hi, Cross came back to apologize for my message earlier. I didn't realize you could have gotten in trouble. I just have questionable humor. I felt bad afterwards, but it's okay. It's alright. I understand, and I don't blame you for it. It's more of a Twitch thing than, it's all goody. Dude, like, I've said dumb things, dude. It's just that, you know, I have to try and self-moderate and also moderate in general is all it is. Alright. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. And Izzy, of course. Hugs. E. Mwah. It felt like everything we worked so hard for to make you happy was for nothing. I chose to believe we'd fix our lives from there, but to Cliff it seemed hopeless. He failed his son. It was easy for me in some ways. I had my family to lean on. That made it less daunting, less impossible. Cliff had only ever known being on his own, by the happenstance of his birth and by choice. And when he broke up, when we broke up, he knew he was going to have to put the pieces of what it was left alone. I wanted to be there for him, even after everything. But I was the one divorcing him. It was impossible. I never managed to be someone he truly relied on. And I had to remember that that wasn't changing. As bleak as it felt at the time, Cliff tried not to let any of that show to you, Cove. He did what he could to lift your spirits high on the move, your new house, the scar, everything. So that's why Cove trailed off. He had misunderstood the impact his injury had on his parents. You were reminded of something that made much more sense now. Mr. Holden had been so helpful with Cove's old Halloween costume because he didn't want Cove to be saddened by the scar. It was clear that Cove was starting to come to the same realizations. Now, with all that said, if Cliff was a completely perfectly wonderful guy, I wouldn't have left him. If it was even pretty good, I would have stayed. It was hard to not have custody. Sometimes I felt like I was just a fun aunt, rather than the mom that I wanted to be. I, might have overcompensated a little at times because of that. She forced a laugh, but it had a bit of an uncomfortable edge to it. You could tell she was trying to blow off a very real anxiety of hers. Cove looked ready to say something, but his mom kept talking, kept moving forward. Still, it's not Cliff's fault alone that our relationship didn't work. We were always better as co-parents than spouses, but I knew that separating that, it wasn't going to be even. And Cove, the only reason I could stand on not being there for you all the time is because I knew that if the situation had been reversed, and I could have provided a more stable environment, Cliff would have done the same. Your dad would have given up on his house, his shop, even his right arm if it would guarantee that you were safe and happy. So as painful as it was, I was sure that you would be okay because you were still with someone who loved you more than anything else in the world. Cove lowered his head, tears falling to the ground. He tried to speak, and it took him a few tries. Thank you for telling me. His voice cracked, and Kyra made an alarm sound on the other end of the line. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to make you cry.
I get it.
It's okay. He was still crying, and everyone could tell, being physically present or not. I love you, Mom. You've always been my mom, not some aunt. My mom. Oh, I love you too. Her tone was thick with emotion, and she was at the edge of a voice break herself. I'm so lucky to be your mom. She started to sniffle openly.
Don't worry about that.
Don't feel bad for me with how it worked out. I promise that none of it was your fault. It's not like I'm completely miserable over here. I have an incredible life with a beautiful baby boy of my own who called me whenever he can. At that, Cove's tears only came down heavier. Cross, are you crying? My eyes are a little moist. I'm not crying yet. part of the voice inflection is acting, you know, which is just the point. But this is sweet. This is sweet. Thank you. Kyra sighed affectionately, and you could hear the warmth in her voice. I think that's good for now. Maybe we should end the call. Take a moment. Is that really alright? He tightened his grip on his phone, and you could see how emotionally exhausted he looked.
Of course.
Of course. We'll be in touch soon. For now, you'll only be able to keep thanking me or apologizing.
Hey!
Hey! Cove cried out defensively over the accusation, making his mom snicker. Bye, and goodbye to you, Garnet. I'm glad that you were there for my baby. See you. Bye, Mom. I love you. Love you too. Cove hung up, let his hand drop to his side, his phone brushing the fabric of his wetsuit, the other hand to his face, and tried to wipe the tears from his eyes. His face was red, and he struggled to put his phone back in his bag one-handed, and you could tell that he was getting pretty worked up. He finally just used both of his hands, sealed his phone back to its normal place. Cove sniffed, reached out for you. His hand trembled in your grasp, and you squeezed back. He needed to feel your support. Want to go see your dad again? He didn't have to tell you what was on his mind for this. Cove nodded, his head weakly. You rushed back the way you came, feet pounding across the board of the dock to return to the scuba shop for the third time. It was a little difficult keeping up with him. His stride was already longer than yours, but with him almost running, you had to really pick up your pace. You reached his dad's store, and Cove wasn't slowing down. He pushed his way through the door at full speed. His hand released yours as he charged in. Mr. Holden had been walking around the middle of the store, checking things, and he immediately turned at the sound.
What's wrong?
What's the fire? He froze when he got a look at Cove's face. He worriedly opened his mouth, probably to ask what was wrong. Then Cove launched himself at his father. Cove threw his arms around Mr. Holden's neck. He buried his face in his dad's shoulder and started to sob with deep, hitching breaths. Cliff clearly had no idea what was going on, and his hands hovered awkwardly in the air. He looked at you for a brief second, hoping for understanding, before turning all of his attention on Cove. He wrapped both of his arms around Cove's back. Cove looked secure in his father's embrace. Protected. Safe. It's okay. It'll be okay, whatever it is. It's going to be okay. Cove kept crying. He inhaled deeply, his voice choking up when he tried to speak.
I'm so sorry.
You always try to be there for me when I was growing up, and I was mean to you. I'm sorry.
What?
What? Mr. Holden was completely taken aback. He hadn't exactly expected this to be the issue. You don't have to apologize for that, bud. Kids are allowed to be mad at their parents. It's my job to take care of you, and I didn't really do anything special. Cove shook his head as emphatically as he could while still tucked in against his dad. Why is everyone crying? They're having emotional, heartfelt moments. That's why. You always supported me no matter what. You've always loved me. And I wish I realized how much you did sooner. Cove squeezed him tighter. Thank you. I love you, Dad. At his son's heartfelt confession, his father became choked up as well. He compressed Cove into a crushing hug. I do love you. I always will. And you can count on that. I want to be there for you too. They clung to one another, absorbed in the moment, and after a little while longer, slowly began to loosen their hold. Cove sniffled and moved so he could use his palm to wipe away his tears. His dad's shirt was visibly damp where his face had been. Cliff patted the top of Cove's shoulders, looking down on his son with pride. You've grown up so much. Cove started to laugh through his tears, a wavering smile on his lips. You doubted that Cove would ever have thought that crying on his dad's shoulder was a sign of maturity, but it was true. Cove had changed over the years. It made you wonder a little bit if there was more to understand about your moms, actually. You thought back to when you were little, tried to think if you'd ever change perspective on your parents. You appreciated everything that they'd done for you, but maybe you could tell them thank you when you got home. Just in case. Cove wiped at his eyes again. You're a good dad. You're a good son. Mr. Holden was plainly touched by the words, and he beamed at his beloved child. Cove looked away, shyly traced at his scar. Cliff chuckled and released Cove back to rub the back of his neck. The early panic had bled off and left the confusion. I'm glad that we had this talk, but what was it that made you cry in the first place? You were too bad off when you left before. Oh. Cove ducked his head further down, taking a very good look at the scuff marks on the floor. I called Mom. I wanted to talk to her about all of this. He kicked one of his feet shyly, swinging it back and forth against the ground. Things felt really hard when I was younger. But it wasn't just me going through stuff, Dad. You never give yourself credit. Cliff smiled gently, gripped Cove's shoulder with reassurance.
Oh.
Kyra is an amazing person to come to my defense. For me, the only hard part was seeing you and her unhappy. Everything else, that was nothing. He wrapped an arm around Cove's neck for another side hug. Cove leaned into the embrace and glanced up at his dad. Your old man's tougher than he looks. Look how powerful these arms are. This is 10 years on. I was in my prime those days. Cove laughed. It was a light sound, full of fondness. Okay. He quieted down a little, finding a quick moment of seriousness. Thanks again, Dad. I know you don't want me to feel bad, and I'm happy. Because of everything you and Mom did, I've got a really nice life. Mr. Holden's countenance became much more serious. He didn't take what was said lightly. Cove, you're very welcome. And that's so good to hear. He then let Cove go, and this time they both took a step back to their normal proximity. Mr. Holden cleared his throat, and he looked at you right in the eyes.
That's a relief.
I also appreciate that you were here for support, Garnet. What a true friend. Cove looked down, embarrassed. Aw, you're both so sweet. You grinned at the couple of big softies. Cliff smiled warmly, and he nudged Cove gently to say, look how lucky you are. Hey, maybe I have to give you another 20 for this. You put up with a lot over the years. Cove's cheeks puffed up into a pout.
No.
No! You laughed. Cliff was alright.
Sure.
Okay, I'll leave making jokes about like that to Cove. Cove smiled, satisfied at that. Alright. Cove exhaled slowly, posture relaxing. We better get going. You still have work, Dad, and I think Garnet's been patient enough. Cliff grinned and waved the two of you off. Sure thing. I'm happy you both stopped in. But you gotta go have some fun. Be careful out there. I don't think I need to go jet skiing anymore. Garnet, if you still want to go, I don't mind watching. Oh, no way. You are a mature young man, and if you want to jet ski, you should go out and jet ski. I'd still be here if you need anything, right? Yeah, okay. Bye. Cove waved to his dad as he started walking out, and he followed. When he turned back to Mr. Holden before he went out the door, he was waving. Bye, kids! You'll do great! Once again, as it had become today's habit, you and Cove walked down to the dock side by side. This time, Cove had a bounce in his step. His smile was soft, but radiant. Thanks for staying. And sorry for how long it took. You do the same for me. You had his back and he had yours. Just how things went between the two of you. He sidestepped to lean in closer and you wrapped your arms around you. You relaxed into his embrace as he held you tightly. You hugged him back. You could smell the scent of the ocean on the breeze, and feel the warmth of his chest. He exhaled and took a step back, face a dazzling smile. The water lapped at the dock beneath your feet. Cove looked down when a particularly strong wave crashed against it. It's weird to think about my parents' relationship. That's just all the stuff I didn't know yet because I wasn't there, or because I was just a kid, or because I didn't even exist yet. It feels really complicated. Oh, I know what you mean. I kind of feel that way about mine. You'd sometimes hear your moms talk about things and be completely surprised. It was strange when you'd been around for something that hadn't truly understood because you had been too young. Cove nodded without too much elaboration. He looked out into the ocean wistfully for a moment before he shook it off.
It's nice.
I'm happy they were married, even if they didn't stay together in the end. And I'm glad you're feeling better. You asked what he thought about marriage for himself now. Speaking of marriage, Cove's eye widened curiously as he turned to face you. Are you scared of it because of everything that happened with your parents? Cove shook his head shyly. He didn't hesitate for a second. No. Surprisingly, I don't have issues about the thought of getting married someday. You looked at him, not bothering to hide your intrigue, and he chuckled self-consciously at the reaction he got.
I mean,
don't get me wrong, actually trying to propose would be terrifying, but I'm sure that planning a whole wedding would be so hard, especially me, but just the thought of having someone I love that I was married to, that I'd spend the rest of my life with, that doesn't scare me. It actually makes me, happy to think about. The both of you snuck smiles at each other. What about you? Would you ever want to be officially married someday? I'd only get married if I found someone really special. The only wedding you could picture was the perfect partner, someone you loved dearly. You'd never get married just to be married. If you were to get married, it'd be someone that you truly cherished. Oh. He quickly decided to change the subject after that admission. Alright, no more distractions. Let's go. Time to jet ski. Yeah, let's do it. The two of you began to more quickly make your way across the boards. Despite your excitement, you were both careful. Neither of you wanted an accident, especially after what happened with Cove's first jet skiing trip. You finally got to the rental place and surprised at how easy the process really was. It took no time at all for Cove to climb on his jet ski with shaky legs. And you rented it your own. You'd spent this entire time wanting to jet ski and were thrilled to finally climb into one. It was lime green with blue detailing. The jet ski rocked slightly as you got on, bobbing with the waves. And you looked across at Cove. He sat motionlessly astride his jet ski, preparing himself to start it up. Even from your distance, you could tell his hands were clamped onto the handles too tightly. He was stiff and nervous. It's alright, Cove. Trust yourself. He took a deep breath. You could see the rise and fall of his chest.
Thanks.
Thanks, Garnet. He inhaled slowly and started up the jet ski. It roared forwards, and you're surprised you could hear him squeak over the sound of the engine. He stopped after a few seconds and breathed again. After he calmed down, he started it up once more. Cove sputtered and stalled out for it, and Aniki, I stereo, Aniki. Cove sputtered and stalled along with it for a while, going a little further each time, and then he grew more comfortable with the field. He got the hang of the jet ski fairly quickly, and it didn't take him long to learn how to properly turn properly and leave it running for longer spurts of time. Master Chief, mind telling me what you're doing playing this game? Cove eventually reached the point where he only stopped the jet ski when he had something to say, and he kept shouting things at you. This is amazing! You see that, Garnet? This is so great! You had gotten your own jet ski as well, and you made sure to keep a safe distance. Cove watched what you did with enthusiasm. Nice turn! He zoomed forward, and you could hear his bright laugh ring across the waves. And you were relieved to see that he had taken it to it so well. It kind of reminded you of a jet skiing game that you played in the past. When you were a kid, there were some games with jet skis that you played. You remember crashing into a few things in between trying to do tricks. Luckily, you weren't crashing today. Eventually, the sun set. You had to pack up. Cove was still thankfully in one piece, and no cast was necessary. And after everything was returned, Cove dug his phone out of his bag, texted his parents to let them know all about this triumph. An idea to take a photo to mark the occasion struck Cove, and he wanted you to join in the selfie. Got... full stretch. Ooh. Ooh. And Wolfred! Mwah. Welcome home, honey. How you doing, cutie? Back in your apartment? Hell yeah, baby. Whiffy. You showed off your best angles. You posed, and Cove tried to follow your lead. You took a few pictures, and you pointed at the best one. You liked how it turned out, so you sent it to you. It'd be a nice memory. His phone vibrated after a moment of texting it out. Mr. Holden and Kyra had likely been waiting the entire day to find out how this outing would go. I've been lurking what I missed. Some our life, some vibing, some VA work, some chilling. Me actually a little wet-eyed, but trying to go real ham on that sniffly voice. Back crack? No, that's my neck. It's with the news of his success, both of Cove's parents sent back how proud they were of Cove for how far he had come. Watching him grin the setting sun after facing so many of his fears that day, he felt the same. Alright. It is Sunday, which is a bit of a shorter stream. 4 hours is pretty decent for a Sunday. Nothing too crazy. My neck can only crack nicely. My friend thought it was a plastic water bottle once. Yeah. I don't want to stay up too late. And, Oni-chan. I study you, Oni-chan. Did you sleep well, Oni-chan? Mwah. How was your nap, Equinox? Hope you slept well. Hope you did goody. Hope you got some rest in. Mwah. But I hope you guys all enjoyed. That was a pretty goody time. And James says Oni-chan. I stereo Oni-chan. Thank you for the artifact help early. Hey, no worries. However, we are gonna let me mute this tab real quick. We are gonna raid Amayami. If you guys would be willing to stick around for just a little bit. She's playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And just straight vibing. So, yeah. Here's the raid message. Just a nice old Homodachi raid. We're gonna have to change that to Kisu. Because I think that the Kisu is better now that we have the Kisu animated emote. So, I prefer this. I don't want to be spoiled, so I shall not raid with. Oh, it's okay. Mwah. Understandable. No worries. But yeah, bye. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys just vibed. Had good stream. It was fun. Tomorrow might be Dark Souls. It kind of depends on scheduling. If not, Genshin. Because Tuesday is the big update, and I don't really have any huge plans. But I'm thinking that maybe we could try out Slime Rancher, because I just picked it up. It was like $5. Something to just vibe with, and mess around, just kind of mindlessly just chill. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Raid in 10 seconds. Mwah. I love you. Mwah. 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 Mwah.